time for the O-Deck with Gordo, brought to us by A Number One Air and Tylock George Laser Eye Care.
Thank you, Craig, and thank you, fine sponsors. All right, George.
Yeah?
I think we have a little bit of a game show that's about to break out.
Yeah, I think this is going to be fun. Did you hear the world's most interesting man on the hardline yesterday, Michael Block?
I heard a little bit of that.
Did you hear the very beginning?
No, I tuned in after he was already on.
Okay, good. Because the question is, how did Corby greet him? Did he greet him with man, buddy, or dude?
I'm going to say buddy.
Okay, good guess. Gordo, what do you say?
Okay, so it's a golfer who's just made big news. Corby will be overly casual, as you have identified. Yeah. He will be overly casual. I think he's going to go with dude.
Okay, let's give it a listen and see. Is it buddy or dude?
Traffic looks like there's a wreck here on the highway, so we're just sitting here not moving whatsoever. So I've got plenty of time, and it's easy to give you a call right on the button.
Dude, I mean, I don't even know where to start.
Dude,
I thought it may be man, but yeah, it was dude. And I think he duded him like 4 more times during the interview. It was a great interview. He was awesome. He was so good.
You do it?
And he's already in town. He went right from the PGA to here.
That's great.
For the Charles Schwab.
Dude.
Thanks, buddy. You bet.
Thanks, buddy.
The President Bush.
Overly casual Corby.
Dude.
Hey, maybe that explains why we always go, and how does Corby have all these friends everywhere? Frowls, you know?
Yeah.
That's a buddy of mine. He's always saying that somebody's a buddy of mine. Well, according to that, George Bush is his buddy. So maybe Corby's just overusing the term a buddy of mine.
Yeah. And Corby, he's always been friendly Corby.
Yep.
He's very approachable.
He can get along with anyone.
He can. He's
it's
instantly
amazing.
your buddy.
That's what I love about him. All right. You ready to light him up?
Sure.
Boy, it's so much smoking talk. I had several people throughout the day that I ran into that heard about the smoking thing. I was talking about the smoking thing yesterday.
Has anyone done it? Did someone try it yesterday?
No one tried that I know of, lighting up in a business call, video call, a Zoom meeting, just firing up a cigarette, be sitting there smoking while looking at the laptop. Good point. Yeah. Blowing out the side of their mouth, so they're not blowing in right at the camera. You like it when people do that, George? They do this maneuver.
The
side, yeah. They get side dragging. But Clay says, when's the last place you saw someone smoking a cigarette inside?
Huh.
He said, I went to a bar recently in a small town, Texas, where everybody was smoking cigarettes inside, and it had one of those old school cigarette vending machines. Remember those that had like the foosball pull?
Yeah.
Pull sticks.
Yeah.
Those still exist?
Yeah, I think they do. I mean, I think they're vintage machines, and
I hadn't seen one of those in forever.
I used to love those machines when I was a kid. I thought they looked magical.
Yeah.
Hey, go over there and get your granddad a pack of Cool Filter Kings. That's what my grandfather would smoke. Cool Filter Kings.
And he'd send the grandkids to go get him a pack?
Oh, yeah. That was like, I remember when I was probably 15. It was before I had a license. And I used to love it because my grandfather would let me take his car down to the store to buy him cigarettes.
Damn.
I thought that was so cool. I'm getting to not only drive, but also buy cigarettes.
Didn't you have to be of age to buy cigarettes? Or not in that town?
Not at that time, and not in
Mississippi.
that town, yeah. It was just... And I think the dude knew who my grandfather was.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm here to get Grandpa's cigarettes. All right. Cool 50 Kings. There you go. 1 pack or 2.
So Granddad was asking you to break 2 laws.
Yes. Yeah.
He didn't care. He just wanted the cigarettes.
Yeah, he just wanted his cigarettes. But yeah, it's so crazy now. It would drive anyone under the age of 30. Like, it would really boggle their mind, the smoking world that we used to live in.
Yep.
When we were kids. because people would just be smoking indoors everywhere. The workplace, people walking down grocery store aisle with a cigarette in their mouth. I mean, now it would shock the three of us.
Yeah.
You get so used to not seeing it that any time that you do see it, it's a real offense.
Right.
Just, oh, my God, I can't believe that person's doing that. But, yeah, you go and I'm used to living in a town that has no smoking even in bars.
Right.
And that change happened when I was an adult. You remember when Dallas went non-smoking?
Yeah.
But, yeah, you go to a small town or sometimes some of the suburbs or exurbs. What's beyond suburb? Isn't it exurb?
Is that what they call it?
Sure.
Yeah. Exburb. Something like that. But a lot of them don't have smoking bans. And you'll still have the smoke from the bar that you can smell in the entire restaurant.
I guess it was a casino the last time I was.
Yes.
They have smoking
areas
and non-smoking.
We just saw that at Choctaw.
Yeah, at Choctaw, we went up there, and like the old casino, they allow smoking, and I think the new one, they don't allow smoking.
Yeah.
And it is a world of difference, even when you walk through there and no one is smoking, but you can still smell the cigarette smoke in the smoking casino.
Yeah.
Such an old school smell.
Remember when we thought there's no way people are going to be able to adjust to the no smoking in bars ban in New York and Paris and Dallas?
Right.
It seems so foreign. Yeah.
And they did. You see smokers outside on the sidewalk in all weather.
You know, in Europe, they still smoke in...
Everywhere?
Yeah, well, in cafes, like in the outdoor terraces and stuff. And it's just such a smoking culture over there, even more than America, you know.
Yeah.
Because of Paris, it seems like everybody smokes. And you cannot complain there. Excuse me, could you tell them to put that out? We're American, we're here, we're trying to enjoy Paris, and that Parisian seems to be smoking a cigarette. Also, you tell them it's not good for them. Thank you. From Mitchell. He says, following up on the smoking during Zoom meetings. I'm currently seeing a therapist weekly. Way to go, George.
Why me?
And due to my work schedule, I do all of my sessions via Zoom rather than in person. Therapy, especially when you're working through some serious issues in your life, can be very stressful, and a little bit of stress relief could be helpful to me in a good state of mind. So my question is it okay to smoke during your therapy sessions online? I think absolutely it's okay. You're paying for the session.
Yeah.
You're in your own home.
Yep.
That's your therapist whose job, you pay them not to judge you.
Right. Although they probably are.
Of course. They're human. All humans judge. And therapists, I think, are good about remaining judgment-free.
I think they are, too.
And not even internally judging you, because that could lead to, you know, them giving you different treatment if they were always privately judging you harshly. Right. But yeah, you can smoke during those sessions, but it did provide me a little bit of more George humor of thinking about someone talking through issues. Smoking a cigarette makes it even more. Yeah, and she just I don't know. I don't think she wants to be happy. Joanna says, Gordon, if I remember correctly, you are not a fan of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car. And yes, somehow the two songs that I couldn't stand probably the most when they were out were What's Up by Four Non-Blondes, which we've covered extensively on this show. No. And Fast Car. I was always driven crazy by Fast Car, too. And I don't know that you guys have a problem with Fast Car. I have it up in here.
I can't stand it.
It drives me absolutely insane.
Really?
Yeah.
Because some people love this song.
I think I liked it when it first came out, but after about the 10th time I heard it,
Okay.
You get a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove.
I like her voice. I think her voice is interesting and was then.
I drive a fast car, drive it real fast and drive it real good, and I still drive a fast car, driving it
like
good
it when
and
it kicks
driving
in.
it fast. What? Hi.
Yeah.
That part?
That's not bad.
All right, hold on. Oh, jeez. Still just stuck. Is it a loop? Is she using a looper pedal here?
See, my old man's got
Okay,
to carry
thank you.
him like with school, and that's what I
There's something.
did.
There's a warble to her voice that drives me nuts. And also,
Oh, she's stuck in the loop again.
I don't know that this can be proven, but I think this is the most overplayed song on radio in radio history.
Really?
Yes.
They played it a lot in the 90s.
It always drove me crazy when I'd see somebody on a patio doing a solo gig, and they start doing this song, and just like, see,
Right here.
Driving in your car.
That's not bad. It just took a while to get there.
oh, that part.
I like that part.
Be
And someone just
Be someone.
Are you getting to
Be
someone
someone.
who's just
Be someone.
redone this?
Be someone.
Stop.
Be
I'm asking you a question.
What do you ask me?
Someone has just
Yes.
covered this and it's good.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because Luke Combs came out with this.
Yeah.
Is that the Red Solo Cup guy?
No.
That's Luke Bryan.
No, that's not.
Is that T-Rex
Brian.
arms?
Who's the Red Solo Cup guy?
Now I
Toby
want
Keith.
to get to anywhere.
That's Toby Keith?
Yeah.
We can make a deal.
Really?
Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place
Stop
is
it.
better.
What? That's in the song.
Just listen to it. Just hang on.
on. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. See, my old man's got a problem. He live in the bottle, that's the way it is. Said his body's too old for working. His body's too young to look like his. Mama went off and left him. She wanted more from life than he could give. I said, somebody's gotta take care of him. I quit school and that's what I did.
I like Luke Combs. I think he's good.
You got a fast car, and I got a plan to get us out of here. Been working at the convenience store. Managed to save just a little bit.
It's just the same thing
I know.
over.
A little repetitive.
I mean, why couldn't it be really varied, like, say, Morrissey?
I'd rather listen to that than Morrissey.
I think Luke is the Red Solo Cup guy, George.
Car, I drive
I thought you meant the song Red Solo Cup.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean the guy who's always on stage holding
yeah.
a Red Solo
Yes.
Cup.
I swear I'm going to hit you right in the head.
Make the car go
Stop.
fast.
We're having a music conversation.
Trying to have a conversation.
So fast.
It's that music.
It is the car that you want me to have.
How did we get to Morrissey?
I don't know. He's insane this morning.
Me? I know. I got like zero sleep.
So Toby
just-
Keith has a Red Solo Cup song.
That's
Okay.
what I thought you were talking about. Yeah, Luke
But-
Combs has got a red
But
solo
he carries
cup.
a red solo cup, right? Here's Justin Bieber doing Fast Car. Uh-oh.
I gotta take you to anywhere. Maybe we can make a deal.
Okay, somebody please get Justin Bieber off the whisper singing. You know what I'm talking about? It's like
Yeah, I know.
he's always got to do whisper singing.
Maybe together we can
Much
get
air in my voice. I got a lot of air, and I'll push it out when I sing. I want to do it.
So you're saying no matter who does this song, it's bad.
Maybe we'll make something.
Is that what you're saying?
Me, myself, I got nothing.
I mean, obviously they all have good voices, but it's too repetitive.
Yeah, it's
It's
very
like
repetitive.
they need Tracy Chapman. She needed a good producer to have her edit the song where it would be a hit.
to get to that.
I mean, obviously it wasn't
There
as
is no
successful
telling how much
as
money
it
she
could have
made off
been.
that song.
I know. What other hits did she have though?
Faster Car.
Slow Bicycle. Remember that was one hit.
Yeah, did she have another hit? Let me look here.
I don't think.
Randy Rogers has a new song called Fast
Give me
Car.
one reason to turn
Oh,
back
yeah.
around, whatever that
Yeah.
was. Give me one reason, and I'll turn it back around.
Give me a reason.
That's not a bad
Give me
song.
one other reason.
Such a minimizer.
Hi.
That looks like about it.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking for Summer Bash, I'll do Fast Car. And I'm going to get caught in the loop and do the 10-minute song like I did Mick Just Touched Home.
Don't do it.
Do you remember when I did Mick Just Touched Home?
Yeah.
And every time we had the big ending, we would go back into it.
Yeah.
That was a good gag.
It was great.
That was a good gag. Just start beating people because you got to do the gag where the laughter dies down that when you keep going back into it, people get worn out on it. And then you got to get on the other side where they start laughing again. But you got to go through the little torture valley first.
All right, Gordo, thank you. That's the Odex. Let's Muse in the News with Gordo, brought to us by D&M Auto Leasing and All Pro Foundation Repair.
Thanks, Craig. All right, do you guys remember when we did the story of the explosion of a dairy barn in Dimmitt? Is that how you say it? Dimmitt,
Texas?
Yeah.
The one that killed like 20,000 cows?
Yeah, 18,000 cows.
Wow.
Died in that fire, that barn fire. Left one person injured, and now they say the cause of the fire and explosion was accidental, but it started with an engine fire in a manure vacuum truck.
Ugh.
How would you like running one of those?
Man.
Tough gig.
It had 18,000 cows in it that were milked constantly. So they were always had cows in there being milked 24 hours a day.
Wow.
And then they also had a manure production facility. So
That's a lot of manure for 18,000
Yeah.
cattle.
So you're pulling the milk out of them and the manure. Manure.
Y'all ever hauled manure before?
No. I mean, we all kind of haul it around daily.
Yeah, I mean cow manure. You ever hauled a big trailer or pushed it around the yard?
No, have you?
Yep. My sister's farm. Thought it was great.
You thought it was great.
As a kid, yeah, getting to do work on the farm. I thought it was awesome.
I figured as a kid, though, you're all creeped out by manure, no matter from what animal it is.
No, I thought it was great. I am around cattle daily.
Did it smell horrible? I'm
not really bothered. This is going to sound strange. I'm not really bothered by cow manure. The smell of it.
Are you the type of person that hates the smell of horse barns or likes it?
I kind of like it.
I kind of like that, too.
Mm-hmm. I love the smell of my sister's farm. There's just, I guess some of it is manure, but it's out in the country. It's really fresh air. There's just, I don't know. There's something just really cool about that place.
They say the worst place to live by is like a pig farm. I've always heard those are the worst smelling places.
Yeah.
The big, huge pig lot.
Then they always say
also
pigs are cleaner than cows.
Also,
chicken,
I've heard the chicken farm is a horrible smell.
Chicken mess gets to me.
Isn't it real high ammonia smelling?
Yeah, it's just strong. Yeah. I don't know how they live in their own filth.
We were designed to have regular farms, not the big industrial farm.
I agree.
That's something that's so creepy about the huge warehouses of death.
I know.
Anyway, so it was a manure vacuum truck, which a couple vehicles ago, that's what I bought because it was cheapest thing on the used lot.
Low miles?
Yeah, low miles. So I bought a manure vacuum truck. And then that lasted a couple years, and then I bought a stairway truck for a airplane, like they had in Arrested Development.
That was so funny.
And I got hop-ons. There were going to be hop-ons. Look at George not laughing because
I didn't watch it.
Greatest comedy ever.
Never
How can
watched
you
Arrested
have
Development?
not watched the greatest comedy ever?
I don't know. I don't want to be scolded. You'll stop.
It really is. See, okay, you have a reason why you didn't watch Breaking Bad, which is what I think the greatest TV show.
Yeah, I just had a blind spot to that show, and now
because it was too violent.
Right.
But Arrested Development doesn't have that problem. It's a funny show, so I think that you would like it.
I bet I would.
Why don't you give Arrested Development?
Okay, not opposed to it.
You and the Misers sit down, watch like the first, 4 episodes.
Like y'all didn't watch it when it was being produced, right, when it was first put out?
I did, yes.
I didn't.
Yeah, and then I think I turned Craig onto it, said this is really good, and then we bonded over Arrested Development.
So many great characters. Every character's great.
Yes.
There's not a bad character on the show. They're all hilarious.
Okay.
Buster, he goes to Army.
Lucille.
I think somebody gave me the DVD box set of it.
You have all of them on DVD? I think it's also
Somewhere.
streaming somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but I mean a long time ago.
Boy, the mother is
And even
so
then
good.
I didn't watch it.
I know.
Lucille, Jessica Walters, was that her name?
Yeah.
So funny. Her toxic relationship with her daughter. She's just always criticizing her daughter so much.
And she loves Buster.
Yeah. I love when she said to, what's the daughter's name? Portia de Rossi. What's her character's name?
Hookie?
Lindsay. When you said Lindsay, she thinks I'm over. She was talking to someone else about Lindsay, who's sitting right in front of her. She thinks I'm too critical of her. That's another fault of hers.
Gosh.
Lindsay, who's not even fat, when they're sitting down to dinner and Lindsay orders dessert, she goes, "You want your pants to buckle. You want your belt to buckle, not your chair, sweetheart."
Oh, my gosh.
Yet Tobias might be the funniest character.
Yes. The man who's in total denial of his own sexuality.
And Jason Bateman's reactions to everything Tobias says are equally as funny.
Everyone should watch Arrested Development. Okay?
You make
Joe
We
might be the funniest.
We have a... Yeah.
Stupid magic tricks.
Magic tricks. We have a history of recommending great shows to people. Arrested Development is one. We are the show that brought you Nathan For You.
That's right.
Easy on that one. That
I
doesn't
forgot
need
that we have a disagreement
That's not
on
a
that
3
one.
out of 3 muser on that one.
Oh,
Don't waste your
At
time,
George Dunham
P1.
on Twitter.
how could you not love that show? It's
There's
so right
something
up the
off
muser's
about it.
alley.
There's something off about it.
Okay,
to where it's
but
not
think about like what we did yesterday.
naturally funny.
During breaks, we were talking Moron Dog, and we came up with a ridiculous scenario of the
Yes.
president sitting down with Jimmy Kimmel discussing
Obviously.
Moron Dog. That's what Nathan For You is. It's
Yes.
just constantly
Yeah,
amping
I
up and
understand
making
the
an
idea of
elaborate
what he's
story.
trying to do. I just don't think he ever really gets there.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry, that's just my
Would you
reaction.
try to focus a little bit?
All right.
He's just jealous because he didn't write Nathan
That's
For
what
You.
this is all about, because
Okay, maybe so.
when people watch
Maybe
Nathan
so.
For You,
I
George
tend
is
to
not
like
the center of
things-
attention.
Yeah, I tend to like things that I have something to do with. That's true.
A false report of an explosion at the Pentagon made news and spread on Twitter yesterday, sparked a brief dip in the stock market. These were AI-generated images of an explosion at the Pentagon.
Good night.
The fake image showed a black cloud of smoke near a building, and then there was also one that came out that showed an explosion at the White House popped up, also AI generated. So, yes, the major stock market indices briefly dipped on these false reports. Yeah. This is what we wanted. Stop talking about AI. It won't affect anything. Okay, yes, you're right. Yes, okay.
Don't celebrate being right about that.
World's always been a certain way, Gordon. Not going to change. Okay, yes, you're right. You're right, sir. All right. Many of the Twitter accounts that spread the hoax carried blue check marks, which is used to signify that the social network has verified the account. But among the blue-checked accounts that carried these false images, one was impersonating Bloomberg News, and then also the real account of the Kremlin-linked Russian news service, I guess, retweeted this, and they later deleted theirs after they figured out that it was fake. Twitter responded to a request for comment with an auto-reply containing a poop emoji.
God. Like I said, when he bought it, Elon will probably make Twitter profitable, but he's going to turn it into an insane wild, wild west, and that's exactly what's happened.
Killer whales appear to be teaching other killer whales how to sink boats off the coast of Spain. 3 killer whales rammed into a yacht on May 4th. And skipper Werner Schaffelberger.
Werner Schaffelberger.
That is such a fake name. Werner Schaffelberger.
I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Werner Schaffelberger.
What?
You changed it.
No, I did not change it. Werner Schaffelberger. 2 little orcas observed the bigger one's technique, and then they started doing it. So they're...
God, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah. Can you imagine being in a boat being rammed by an orca?
No.
Still the coolest of all the whales, right? Like, you ever see like a blue whale? They look kind of weird and stupid. Blue,
those,
but
big ones
orcas
that,
look cool.
Well, those big ones that come out of the water in the Pacific that everyone goes to see. Those sperm whales.
Whoa.
That's Gordo's favorite. You're always talking about sperm whales.
Hey now.
Not always talking about them, but you agree with me that they need to change the name of the sperm
Why
whale.
do they ever
Because no
go with that?
grade school kid can handle that.
No.
So they've sunk a few boats in the past few years, these orcas, and they're learning. I've always heard that's one of the smartest animals on the planet. Dolphins, orcas, and aren't bees supposed to be smart or supposed to be something?
With that tiny brain?
Like, anyone can even know
just
that.
something going on there.
Okay.
I think it's weird that orcas are mammals. It seems weird to me that mammals live in the ocean.
Yeah. Dolphins also among the smartest.
Mhm. And dolphins are one of the few species that have Grecs for fun. And dolphins are rapey.
Oh, they are?
Well,
Yeah.
in the wild kingdom, what's not?
Well, no, dolphins are like even to humans.
Oh, really?
Yeah. People report getting sexually assaulted by dolphins when they're out swimming with them.
Hey, stop!
A German surgeon who was not named Werner Schaffelberger got in trouble and got fired for asking a hospital janitor to assist in an amputation.
I heard about this.
The surgeon wrongly decided to go ahead with a routine procedure to cut off a person's toe.
Oh.
And he was short on staff, so he sees a janitor walking by. Hey, come here for a second. Help me hold this guy's legs down. Mark.
Okay, but if we're short-staffed right now in our
Here
hospital,
goes
is this
George.
such a bad call?
I knew this is from the same man who brought you. Let's just give alcoholics a drink every once in a while.
Okay, you don't have to remember all of my theories, all right? That has no relation to this.
So the janitor just handed the surgeon gauze
and held down the dude's or the person's
scissors
legs.
and
Yes. He held down the guy's legs and he passed surgical instruments to the surgeon. So is it really that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you're desperate. You need
At the
desperate
same time,
nurse.
if your mom's getting surgery, George,
Yeah.
do you want a janitor that's just called in from the hallway to assist with that surgery? And he's like, well, I just got finished cleaning the toilet. It doesn't matter. Just come on. I just need your help right down here. Where
we
the
would
open
all,
wound is.
we'd all have a problem with that if
I would
that
have-
was our
yes,
mom on
but
the
my
table.
problem would be with the hospital more than the surgeon, I think. That's
What
a
do you mean?
hospital because they're
The
so
hospital didn't tell him to get a janitor?
No, but they're so understaffed that he was just like desperate. I need help here to perform this surgery.
And the surgeon's being
Mark.
Dude, scrub up. Just hold the legs. That's all I need you to do.
I don't need to scrub up. I just get finished.
Anybody can do that.
surgeon's being prosecuted, right?
Yes.
And I understand the janitor made a clean getaway. Why are you shaking your head
Because
no?
it's just stupid. I don't want to do mop up on this story.
Great.
What?
Both of you draw a penalty. Now we're going to be at a 5-on-3 disadvantage. Both of you are going to be in the penalty box now.
We're just doing some janitor humor. I'm being a good custodian of the story by presenting it well. And hey, I'm the only one of the three of us that actually worked as a janitor.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Not true. I was a office building janitor for one summer.
What
Boom.
office?
Roasted.
What office?
Can't remember the name of it. It was right off of Marsh Lane and Wakahana Street in Farmers Branch.
Okay, see, that's made up. I was an actual janitor for an office building.
I was too.
And I don't even remember how much I got paid. I probably didn't make that much. I was too busy Xeroxing my junk.
I bet you were.
Probably was.
I was a busboy, which was
Never
like
did that.
being a janitor for a restaurant. 'Cause all we did was mop and clean.
I was always kind of obsessed with those black trays that you would carry the dishes in.
Why?
I don't know.
They were just like a
They were like-
plastic bin.
Yeah, I know. And I bought some of those recently and thought, man, this is cool. I could carry dishes in this.
Hated those.
Love those things. Kurt Cobain's smashed up guitar sells for $600,000. It was a left-handed Strat that he had smashed up. But that was 10 times its estimated value.
Wow.
It went for $600,000.
I don't understand all
they
that.
auctioned it off at the Hard Rock in New York City over the weekend. What's strange is that Kurt Cobain has the most expensive instruments ever auctioned, because his guitar that he played during the MTV Unplugged concert, that's the most expensive one that ever sold. I think that one went for $6 million.
Damn.
Most expensive guitar ever sold at auction.
Did Ursay buy that?
I don't know who bought it. It's a 59 D18. And then another one of his guitars is second place on the list, too. And that's the one that he played. It was the Fender Mustang he was playing in the Smells Like Teen Spirit video. It sold for $4.5 million.
Wow.
Kurt Cobain.
Dang.
Anyway, birthdays today. Drew Carey is 65.
He's not hosting Price is Right anymore. Is that right? Did he retire?
Who is? I don't know. I haven't seen that show in a while.
I thought he was still doing it.
He was making crazy money doing that.
Melissa McBride played Carol on Walking Dead, 57. Ken Jennings from Jeopardy, 49. He's one of the co-hosts now, right?
I think so.
Anupama.
Him and Mayim Bialik.
Believe so.
Joan Collins from Dynasty is 90. Jewel is 49.
Living in Texas? Jewel?
I think there was a divorce involved, and she may not live here
still
anymore.
did.
Way to go, George. And Aaron Donald is 32.
Greatness.
Yep,
Maybe
Dave.
the greatest defensive tackle of all time.
I've never heard of him.
Drew Carey looks like he may still be hosting Price is Right, and he makes $12.5 million a year for doing so.
That is the dream job, being a game show host.
Yeah.
You film like 40 episodes in a day, and then you're off the rest of the year.
Yep.
You work one day a year. That's it.
Thank you. That's Muse.
And now it's time for another edition of the award-winning segment, You Are an Ass If, with your host, Junior Miller.
Well, I thought I might experience a moment that I would have a story for a couple of weeks ago when we flew with our baby for the first time. We're doing this again tomorrow. I'm going to be out Thursday and Friday this week. We have another graduation to go to.
Oh, man.
So tomorrow I'll be in, but then after the show tomorrow, we get on a 4-hour flight to Boston. So I don't know if I'll come back with stories. I hope not.
Been playing some tough road games lately.
Yes, we have. But we do start off this installment of You're an Ass If with this from P1 Dayton. He said, I was on a flight the other day and was helping an older lady. I need to rephrase this. I need to rephrase his wording.
Okay.
I was on a flight the other day and was helping an older lady deplane. How about that?
Okay.
Not get.
Right.
Right.
So I guess we were holding up the rows behind us. I guess somebody apologized to another passenger, and I heard, it's okay, it's not your fault. I wanted to turn around and say, if this was your mother or grandmother, Would you want someone to help them? Or maybe I should have just left her in the seat where she was and made her the last to get off the plane. It's been bothering me ever since I heard that comment. Yes, that's always dicey because people who you've been on the plane for a while, they have no patience for anybody that's taking longer than 1 second to get their bags together and to get off the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's always helpful to do that trick, and this is good in traffic too. When someone's slow, that's older, just go, that's somebody's grandfather. Just imagine them being your grandfather or brother, sister, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that's a little mind hack to generate instant compassion or sympathy for someone.
Yeah, that person behind them making comments about how slowly it was going, that person definitely an ass.
Yeah, that person's
Absolutely.
an ass.
P1 Buck, I just witnessed something incredible at my local grocery store. A lady decided it was too cumbersome to return her cart from the parking lot back to the rack. She did the thing we all hate. She just left the cart next to her car. She got into her car, and just as she was about to start backing out, a gentleman grabbed the cart and rolled it directly behind her car.
Oh, no.
Then he walked into the store.
Yes!
He said it was incredible to witness. She then got out of her car and returned the cart to the rack.
There you go.
And then
She
left.
felt bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
He says, is this guy a jerk or a hero?
I think
a little
he's a
bit
hero.
of both. A little bit of both.
The worst thing about that is people just think conditions are never going to change. There's no way that cart could get
It's not gonna
bumped
get-
by
no
or
wind
the wind
or-
couldn't
Right.
rip up. How many cars get damaged every year from some rogue cart being blown by the wind and hitting them at ramming speed?
You guys never watch Cart Narcs on YouTube?
No.
God, this guy, talk about, he's got the most annoying voice and he's got the biggest balls because he confronts people who don't return their carts in shopping centers. And he's got a GoPro on his helmet and everything. And
You better not do that in this
excuse me,
state.
sir, you didn't return the cart here. Here, I'll give you a little sticker for your car. And he puts these magnets on people's cars. It says Cart Narcs. He works for Cart Narcs. And we're just out here trying to encourage people to go ahead and return your cart. Go ahead, lazy bones. Yeah, take the cart back.
Oh.
Get away. Get out of my face right now. Why are you being such a lazy bones? Why are you being such a lazy bones? You're being a little belligerent here, sir. He needles them. And he gets in. The guy's pulled a gun on him before.
I was going to say, do people ever physically assault him?
Yeah, he gets really close to it. He's real good at running away from, you're kind of chasing me there, sir. I don't know if you notice how aggressive you're being. Seems like kind of odd being so aggressive. All you have to do is return the car. That's all you have to do. I'll be fine. I'll get out of your way.
That's dangerous work these days.
I know it. And he just keeps going. And it's so funny when he sees someone who's doing it. He does this whoop, 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 skilly whip, woo, woo, woo. Makes siren sounds like he's going after him.
Boy, I need to watch that.
Yeah. It's so
Sounds
funny.
right up my alley.
Yeah.
Speaking of parking, P1 Mike, what about the person who parks over the line, entering the parking space on either side and doesn't bother to correct their mistake? And he encloses a picture. I was forced to enter from the passenger side in my car and climb over the console to get to the driver's seat because the guy parked so close to his driver's door. He said, I even had to retract the side mirrors to avoid scraping the other car when backing out.
Yeah.
Dang.
One complication of that is, have you guys ever been caught having to park a certain way because of the cars beside you?
Yes.
And then when you come out of the store, those cars have left and you look like the biggest jerk ever.
Yeah, someone's left a note on your car.
Right?
They think you started the chain reaction. I told you guys a few years back that for whatever reason, I had adult onset inability to park straight in parking spots.
It was the craziest thing. I was with you a few times when you did it, and it was unbelievable.
And I didn't understand what was happening.
And you would get out, you would adjust and everything, and then you get out again and go, I'll be darned, it's still messed up.
I would always correct it, though. I would never leave my car over the line. Somehow that's corrected. I don't know if it was a COVID thing or I think it was pre-COVID.
COVID cured you of it?
Maybe COVID cured me of it, but now I can...
It's like getting hit on the head with a coconut the second time.
Right.
Returns you back to normal. At least that's what I learned on Gilligan's Island.
This is from P1 Ian. He said he's got two for us, in fact. He said, number one, you're an ass if you spit your gum into a urinal. Just think of what you're asking someone else to do.
Yeah.
And number two, he says, I'm currently in an Uber, and they are a left-lane camper. Everyone is passing us on the right, and we're going about 10 miles under what the traffic is going, 10 miles an hour under what the traffic's going. Am I the ass for being incredibly uncomfortable and not wanting to say anything to the driver?
He is the captain of that ship, though. When you've hired
driver.
the ship. No, I think that the passenger is, right? Can't he request, hey, do you mind changing into this lane? Or do you risk
I'm driving, thank you.
Or do you risk having a volatile driver who, you know what, I'll tell you something right now. You're getting out right here, sir.
So you bring up an interesting question. I think the driver is the captain of the ship. When you go
It's
on
his
a
car.
When you go on a cruise,
Yeah.
the captain of the cruise ship is the captain, not you. But they also always say the customer's always right.
Yeah.
So you could drive the car if you wanted, being the customer.
What's the face-saving way to get this accomplished? Do you say, you know what, take this next exit up here, and then when he moves over 2 lanes, go, oh, you know what, no, I'm sorry, never mind, keep going on down, you're fine. But now he's in the right lane, so
Right.
you're fine. You got him out of the passing
That's a good
lane.
way to do it, though. I like that. This is from P1 Mark. He said, it's 8 a.m. here at the office. We're up on the 27th floor. We've hired a grad student from Missouri. She started 3 weeks ago. She seems intelligent, likable. The only strange thing is she continues to wear high heels and struggles mightily to walk around our office. It's been noticed by most of us. This morning it finally happened. As she tromps along, my dad always used that term, tromps. As she
Pick up your feet when you walk.
tromps along in front of my desk in these 6-inch heels, a sound erupts from behind my cube wall. I stand up and I see what happened. There she is. She wiped out.
Oh, good God.
She's trying to get back up, cussing her shoes. I laugh a little bit. I try to sound concerned, but it was a poor attempt. As she stomped off, I reminded her those are not mandatory and we have a pretty relaxed dress code. Am I the ass? It looks painful to watch her walk in those heels. That's a tough one because you're not supposed to police how women dress.
That's right.
You can't
Women
say
are
anything.
the most protected
Not
in
today's
that area.
world.
But she's obviously struggling, and he's doing her a favor by saying, we have a relaxed dress code around here. But you never know how she's going to take
she
it.
could take it bad.
It's
and
a tough one.
I think I would say, I don't think you're an ass, but you're in dangerous territory by making that comment.
Right.
Yeah. According to our training.
Best not say anything and just let her take as many spills as she possibly can.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't
Who's
either.
they?
Women?
That's offensive.
Or
anyone
men,
who chooses to wear high
anyone
heels.
who chooses to wear high heels, I don't see how
Just
they
call them
do it.
high heel wearers. You don't have to
That's too
say
hard.
men or
That's
women.
too hard to say.
Will they ever go away?
Periods?
High heels.
Oh.
Because women wear them
I'm
to be
sorry.
attractive to men.
They don't wear them to be attractive to men. They wear them for themselves.
There's no way they wear those for themselves.
Yes, they do. They like the way they look in them.
Yeah, I hope they don't go away.
You hope they don't go away.
Gross.
That was creepy.
If they want to keep them, I hope they don't go away.
They never
Okay.
look comfortable for the woman to walk in.
Fair catch at the last second.
And finally, this is from P1 Tony. While listening to your I'm an Ass If segment, it reminded me of when I was going to meet a friend for dinner at a local restaurant. As I was walking up to the door, I saw another couple walking about 20 feet behind me. I waited, held the door open for them, being polite and smiling. I could have just walked in and closed the door behind me, but I didn't. They walked in and thanked me. I walked up to the then they walked up to the hostess station. The hostess took them right to a table.
So they didn't. You got to defer. Those people, it's incumbent upon them to defer
Yes.
if someone's opened the door for you and waited for you.
Because,
Go ahead.
Tony continues, then I walked up to the hostess station and was told it would be a 40-minute wait for the next table. And I said, but those people just came in and got seated. Did they have reservations? She said, no, they got the last table available.
Sir, you're being belligerent.
Would
Please
you like
step
to
away
be
from
put on the
hostess
waiting
stand.
list? Then she says, I was pissed at myself because if I hadn't been nice and opened the door for them, I would have gotten that table for me and my friend. what do you think I should have done? They are definitely asses.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to be charitable, maybe they are just oblivious,
Right.
That they
Thinking
didn't
there
do
were
it
tons of tables.
Didn't do it intentionally and weren't thinking. But
Right.
yes, if someone ahead of you opens a door and allows you to go in front of them through the door, that does not mean that they should lose their place in the hostess stand. That person that holds open the door is in front of you in line for the hostess stand.
And I've done this a bunch. If I am the person that's having the door being held open for, once inside the restaurant, I will always turn around to those people and say,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
You were here first.
Yeah, and I bet most people take that as, okay, I'm first up now.
No way.
These people did.
Yeah. I bet it's 50-50, I bet.
Didn't Larry David cover the subject of what is the proper amount of distance that someone is away from the door that you will wait and hold the door open for them?
Yeah. Because he went in.
You were beyond the distance. You were more than 20 feet.
A woman said something to him. Well, that was rude.
You didn't hold the door open for me the other day.
But.
He's right. There is a certain distance where you're not responsible.
If you got to hold it longer than 5 seconds, then I think.
It's 30 feet, Larry. It's 30 feet. No, it isn't. It's 20 feet. 20 feet is the distance.
All right, that's another edition of You're an Ass If. We thought we would do something that we haven't done in a long time. We got this idea a couple of weeks ago when we remembered that many years ago, we eavesdropped on Canadian all sports radio. This is a show out of Toronto. They're called the Slapshot Brothers, so we thought we'd tune them in this morning to see if they're talking about the Stars and the Golden Knights.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
There he is. That's the man himself
You take
there.
care there.
That's old Pete the Boar.
There he is right there.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you're going to...
Go ahead. I know you have a problem with him.
I know you're going to go ahead and rip into him here.
No, that's your
All right, it's
department.
time to rip DeBoer there. I just think he needs to coach a little bit better.
Think he's getting out-coached?
Think he's getting out-coached.
Okay, there's a hockey point.
Oh, that was sorry to rip him so hard there, but that's what we do here on the Slapshot
you got
Brothers.
on the board there with that one.
We're here on the CBC. We were voted the most attitudinal radio show by the Globe and Mail.
Oh, yeah.
And voted Canada's greatest shock jocks.
We've got takes.
By the Toronto Star.
We've got takes, eh?
So, yeah. I'm Dan Labatz, and
I'm Tim Maple.
That's Tim Maple over there. And we want to thank Daryl Ray for joining us the whole last hour there. That was some riveting stuff. I've never heard a guy have that many mind vitamins, eh?
Yeah, he's good. I like
more
Razor. He's one of us.
More mind vitamins than Tim Hortons has coffee and those sandwiches they got there. Looks like you got a little Timmy's this morning there.
I got 8 donuts.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen.
Just ate another one. Another donut down the gullet.
Looks like that. Looks like you just put that attitudinal puck right there in that attitudinal net
tell
there.
You though, can I tell you something? I'm not even watching these Stanley Cup playoffs.
Oh, why not there?
We got Florida, Carolina, Dallas, and Vegas. What are you laughing at?
Oh, nothing. You just sound a little weird there for a second.
I got
there.
a cold.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Yeah,
can we get one Canadian team? Is that too much to ask?
I don't even understand how there's all these hockey teams down there.
I had no idea they had a team in Vegas.
Golden Knights. I mean, Rocket Richard, he's rolling over in his frozen grave with all this hockey down there south of the border.
Gotta be.
I mean,
gotta be, eh?
Hey, listen, before we go on the whole hockey thing,
yeah,
tell that crazy story that about you going to Sobeys.
Okay.
This
this
kills me.
The other night I was out of suds, so I figured I'd go down to Sobeys,
you know. Go out. Yeah, you had to go out.
Go out to Sobeys and, get a sixer. So I was driving down there, and I thought I may need gas, but I decided, no, I'm low on gas, but I guess I don't need
You're
gas.
a little low, but...
I just decided to, risk it. So I went to Sobeys and asked the cash register store. Is that what you call them? What do you call them?
Yeah, just the cashier.
Cashier. Hey, where's the beer? And she said, down there to the left. So I go down there and Give me a 6 of Moosehead. It's on sale.
Yeah. That story kills me every time, man. I think that it's just the way you tell it's so funny.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. But like funny how?
Oh, just kind of cracks me up. It's just like you really told that cashier girl. I mean,
I think you're making fun of me.
No, I'm not making fun of you.
Okay.
It's just funny, the way you tell the story and everything.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to take some calls? What are you doing?
Oh, my Newfoundland. He's eating a napkin over there.
Well, whose idea was it to breed the dog in the first place?
Get the Timmy's napkins out of his face. Come on.
Well, yeah.
Come on, don't let him eat the napkin
dog
there.
Have another napkin. Who cares?
Hey, you're just really insulting my dog there.
Well,
I don't know how we'll ever mend this huge rift that just happened between us.
Can't believe you brought a dog to the studio.
All right. It's time for us to go to the phones now.
Okay.
Eh? All right. So let's go to
Doug.
Let's go to Doug in South Toronto.
Light us up there, Doug.
Come on, you're on with the Slapshot Brothers. Go ahead.
Hello, how are my two favorite hosers doing, eh?
Oh, pretty
doing
good,
all right, eh?
Pretty good.
I love your show, eh?
Thanks, eh?
Hey, no Canadian teams in the playoffs, but I'm still enjoying the competitive nature of the playoffs and all the sportsmanship on display, eh?
Yeah. That's okay, I guess.
I think it's pretty cool.
It's all right. Still hockey.
Now, I don't want to be banned from your show, and I do hate to be critical of the Dallas Stars, and I apologize if this is too strong, but they need to figure out their overtime woes and maybe even get a few more Canucks on that roster, eh?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
now we're going.
Listen at that there.
Now we're going.
That's unbelievable there. That is really, he laid into him there.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Okay.
These Southern U.S. hockey teams, now they aren't exactly original six quality teams, are they?
No, I don't think so.
No, they should never have expanded.
I'm barely
beyond
watching,
six,
so what do I know? You know?
Okay, that's all I've got.
Oh, there he is, scoring another one. Doug in South Toronto, always bringing that heat.
Yeah.
Always got that heat turned way up there.
Lift up. Yeah.
All right. Well, I tell you what, coming up next, we got Justin Montemayor joining us. He's a Twitch streamer that specializes in Bob Gainey-themed casseroles. So that sounds pretty delicious. Let's listen to a little Rush before we go to commercials here.
Some Rush
there they are, the boys from Toronto themselves.
Yeah, there we go.
The Geddy Lee, eh? That's a voice right there. And Alex Lifeson, of course, Neil Peart, who's up there drumming in 7/8 with a struggling 4/4 Gordon Lightfoot. So we'll talk to you here in just a bit,
take off. Not a lot of hot
the most
takes.
Boring.
It's much more low energy compared to the Touchdown Brothers.
Bring it every day. The Slapshot Brothers, you'd think talking about hockey.
Canadians listen to the Slapshot Brothers every day.
They just don't have a lot there.
Yeah, Razor said he grew up on them.
Yeah,
said he loves
swears
them.
by them.
Yeah,
you know
he says that Tim Maple is something else.
Yeah, he is something else.
Yeah.
Time for Gordo's Corner, brought to us by Tylock George Laser Eye Care and A1 Locksmith Security and Sales.
To add evidence to my I'm a teenage girl at heart, don't forget I like Duran Duran a lot too. And there weren't a lot of guys back in the day who liked Duran Duran.
That's more common ground for me, though. I liked them.
See? I like that we're finally discovering that we have a friendship.
Here's another thing about you. You always used to give me a hard time about liking some boy band songs.
Yeah, that was weird.
Here's the problem. My kids liked them. So that kind of carved them in of, I can see the attraction of this. Yeah, my kids are in NSYNC, so why not?
But boy bands, to me, for whatever, this is evidence that I'm not so much a teenage girl. They didn't do it for me the way these other musicians were. These young women that we were playing.
You never Air Dolphin to Bye Bye Bye.
No.
That's a jam.
Especially, see, Duran Duran to me shouldn't be called a boy band necessarily because they played instruments and stuff. To me, the biggest defeat is the boy band and there's four of them up on stage dancing with some real half-assed choreography and nobody's got a guitar strapped around their neck. That's what beats
they had
me.
The dance moves that the girls really liked.
I know. And, K-pop came through and their, BTS. And I like a lot of that K-pop stuff now because they make it real catchy and all that.
What was the first boy band?
Beatles.
Were they a boy band?
I mean,
would they qualify?
That started the boy band type phenomenon where every girl gets into the whole group and you pick which one's your favorite and you have his posters above all the other ones. And, it started the boy band industrial complex, even though they were much more than what we would.
Okay, but who was the first formulated boy band? You got dance moves and.
Was it Menudo?
Maybe. Yeah, they were before NSYNC and.
Yeah,
Backstreet.
I know we're missing something that's very...
New Kids on the Block?
Yeah, New Kids,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
That's when the boy band started. When that New Kids and Backstreet Boys and all that stuff started. That was the same... Remember, I've had this observation before. That was the same reaction I had with Dancing with the Stars. I thought, okay, this is a cultural joke, right? We're all laughing at this. No, seriously popular? It's seriously popular. Okay. Boy bands are becoming a thing? They're becoming a thing now. Okay, all right.
Okay, on the Wikipedia boy band page, yes, they do mention the Beatles. They also, among the early boy bands, the Jackson 5 and the Osmonds.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're a family, so it's not completely unnaturally formed the way a boy band is.
Okay, then after that it would be Menudo.
Okay.
Then New Edition and New Kids on the Block.
New Edition, yes. Forgot New Edition.
Menudo was founded in 1977.
So they're the original. I guess I would say they're the original boy band. Because even the Beatles... Well, Menudo, I'd love to know more about their forming. Their formation. Because the boy band, to me, is the put-together... Speaking of boy bands, I'm actually going to go see Big Time Rush. I think they're playing at... I know they're playing Dickies on June 22nd, and then they're playing I think it's Choctaw.
Who is it again?
Big Time Rush.
Not familiar.
It was a boy band that also had a TV show. So the Monkees, kind of like the Monkees.
Yeah. Hey, I bought the Monkees. I thought they were just like the Beatles.
Yeah, a lot of people had that confusion.
Yeah.
And I ask you this, Giorgio, a lot of those songs that I played, sung by women, are what we call dolphin songs. So you put your hand outside the car window as you're driving down the highway and you're having the big, it's summer and I'm alive moment. And you're dolphining your hand up and down in the air, right? You're air dolphining. Air dolphining. What male-sung songs are dolphin songs?
I came up with, I told you, Jay Giles Band with Peter Wolf.
Yeah, I think Centerfold, that's one. I also said, I think Sweet Home Alabama's an air dolphin song.
Yeah. I told you Lou Gramm to me with Foreigner, Urgent, or Hot Blooded. I know it's not maybe the dance type of jam, but to me it was it was real to me.
I'll give you one. Blurred Lines. Robin Thicke.
Yeah, great beat, but I hated that song.
Really?
Yeah, but I can't deny it's got a great beat.
Blurred Lines. I think that is just such an infectious song.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it. That was a tough one for our culture because it is absolutely designed to fit your lizard brain perfectly for bopping, right? It's just great. And then we had to deal with the cultural message of it, and everybody had to hide when they stay in their car extra longer out front of work.
I don't want to hear the end of this. I don't want people to know I'm listening to it.
Yeah, the high voice.
Oh, it's so great. Many people mad at me on my Tracy Chapman take.
Yeah, a lot of people like that song.
I guess they liked it, and it's so funny. If you don't like something, people get violent towards you.
I know.
I don't like fast
because you're throwing
car.
at their teammate. They feel like they're.
I'm sorry, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't enjoy it. Hey, look, I played a whole bunch of stuff that probably a lot of our P1s don't enjoy.
Music, sports, politics, religion. Those four.
I just get so pissed so
quickly. If you don't
quickly.
like something that they like in that category.
Well, I mean,
violence
right.
ensues.
And the version of that song that I was trying to think of was Black Puma's version of it.
Yes,
they do
that is a
really
great,
nice version.
Great
of it.
version of
They
Fast
are
Car
awesome.
by Tracy Chapman.
I think Black Pumas could do any song, and I would like it.
But okay, you guys know how much I love James McMurtry, and how much I love the Smiths and Morrissey.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with anyone saying, "Oh man, those guys can't sing," or that just totally unappealing. I totally understand.
Yeah.
Why someone would say, "I don't think they're any good," because I can't stand that guy's voice. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you. But, man, Fast Car, you're so wrong. How can you say it about Fast Car? Damn! You just think you're so much better than Tracy Chapman. Okay. And several P1s didn't know Tracy Chapman was female.
That's odd to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess it's a unisex name.
But she doesn't sound like a male singing,
she sings
does
lower.
Yeah, I could see the...
Sings lower.
I was confused just because of the name.
Tracy.
I hadn't heard that song before. I thought it was a man until y'all said
Did
it.
you?
See there?
Wow, okay.
A lot of people having that problem.
Well, I thought Billy Gilman was a woman, so...
And I thought Alison Moyet was a man, lead singer of Yaz.
Yeah.
You know Yaz?
Uh-huh.
I thought
Triple Crown, 67.
No. See if you can find Don't Go by Yaz. But yeah, I listened to that Yaz album and I thought that was a guy singing, and then I found out it was a woman's. She sings kind of baritone or something.
What'd you think when you heard Neil Young the first time?
I thought it was a Muppet.
The moose of
Yeah.
Captain Kangaroo.
Yes, I didn't think it was male or female. I thought it was the moose from Captain Kangaroo.
I wish he did put out an album.
Shan corrects me. She says, forward it a little bit here. Okay.
Sounds like a man to me.
Yeah, see, I thought so too. I love her voice, but I did think it was a man at first.
Wow. Woman's.
Shan tweets,
Oh.
orcas are dolphins, not whales.
They are?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I did know that at one time, and yes, I did mess that up.
Well,
I'd
call
forgotten
them killer
it.
dolphins, then. Don't call them killer
You call them
whales.
killer whales because they kill whales. They should be called whale killers instead of killer whales.
Yeah.
But yeah, orcas are in the dolphin family.
Did you guys see the movie Orca, which came out right after Jaws?
Yes,
Yeah.
My childhood hit right in the heyday of it was grizzly, orca, Jaws, any animal that could attack and kill you. So, yes, I apologize to Shan and her family. I did get that wrong. She didn't yell at me. She
So
was actually
orcas
very nice.
are mean dolphins?
Yes. But yet, they're the ones that we train the most, right? There's that shampoo, that whale down there in SeaWorld.
Do backflips and stuff.
But I remember being a little bit disappointed as a kid when I found out that there's multiple Shamus. Like, it's not one. I thought there was one killer whale named Shamu that did all the tricks, and it was
a dark side.
And it was the
to it as
greatest
well.
Shamu, greatest killer whale of all time because it's so smart. And then I found out, they got a Shamu in every park.
Yeah.
The Southwest Airlines still have the Shamu plane?
No, they got rid of that.
Pretty cool when you would see it.
I know. Yeah, it looks so much like a Shamu. Okay, a guy that's very inspirational. His name is Hari Buddha Magar.
Hari Buddha Magar.
Mark.
He has reached the summit of Mount Everest. He started climbing on April 17th, and then he just summited on Friday, this past Friday. That's pretty amazing.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a matter. I mean, I think you stay at base camp for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's a good question. How much time do you spend at each camp as you acclimatize? Maybe this is a normal time that it takes to get to the top, but I'm guessing that's not the story.
But he started climbing on April 17th, which was exactly 13 years to the day that he lost his legs.
Damn.
Whoa.
Yeah. I think he was serving in Afghanistan when it happened.
Wow.
And he hit an IED and it blew off, took his legs. He went into depression for years. He said he started drinking and was completely depressed and was an alcoholic. And then he turned it around and decided he wanted to do something. And he said I grew up in Nepal up to the age of 19, and I saw how disabled people were treated in those remote villages. Many people still think that disability is a sin of a previous life and that you are the burden of the earth forevermore. That's over there.
Oh.
And he believed this himself because that's what he saw. That's how he grew up. And he even tried to take his own life a few times before he turned it around. And he started saying, okay, I want to climb Everest. Then they banned double amputees and blind people from climbing Everest because they were trying to reduce the number of climbers that die going up there. And he started a campaign to reverse the ban. He gets the ban lifted, and then he, a double amputee, trains, decides to climb Everest, climbs it, and has now summited Everest.
Damn, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And he said without losing his legs, he wouldn't have been climbing Everest. And so it wouldn't have counted that much even if he did. So he says that after this, he's going to go spend time with his family, and he's going to travel back to Afghanistan where he lost his legs and say a little prayer on that site and thank it for giving him the life that it gave him.
Wow.
That loss providing him this focus and this drive that he has now.
What a change in perspective.
Yeah, I know. A double amputee. A man with no legs just summited Everest.
We got nothing.
And I'm going to be out of breath by the time I get to my car down the stairs in the parking garage. So.
And I'll be complaining about the Wi-Fi not being as fast as I like.
Why isn't it as fast as yesterday?
These chairs aren't comfortable.
These chairs, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of uncomfortable. It's kind of hit me wrong. Can you go get me another chair?
The chairs do suck. I mean, both things can be true.
Yeah, even a double amputee would agree that these chairs suck.
But
yeah. Of course, if he goes over to Afghanistan and then something else bad happens, he's run out of tall mountains now to climb. That's the tallest one. He should have paced himself and done the 7. What's it called when you do the 7?
Yeah, what is
7 brides for 7 brothers?
The tallest mountain on each continent?
It's got to have a more catchy title than that.
I'll find out.
It's the 7 summits? The 7...
Yeah, I think... Yeah, the 7 Summits Club.
7 deadly summits.
The 7 Summits Club.
Yes.
And right now, all of us have 0.
Right.
We have 7 to go.
The easiest one is which one?
The summit in Houston, probably.
Okay, all right.
That's been turned into Joel Osteen's church.
The summit in Houston.
That's a church now.
All right, so he's our P1 of the week.
All right, thank you. That's a good story.
Hang Zone coming at you.
Previously in the Hang Zone.
Champ, was the key to winning today's tournament bringing out the old Billy Baroo and sinking those putts like a Tommy gun on Valentine's Day?
Why are you yelling? You're a foot from me.
Scoops Callahan from the ticket here, Phil. Congratulations.
Thank you, Scoops.
This event comes at a time where beaches across the state are reopening following the coronavirus pandemic. And beachgoers like Chelsea Collier are still taking precautions to stay safe.
Wash them hands for 20 seconds and keep them clean with their Germ-X. Totally.
The additional presence of law enforcement has been a welcoming sight for beachgoers, given the history of this event.
Law enforcement's definitely made their visitability and made people chill out and not be as crazy. The cops are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent. Then I'm all gravy, baby.
Does it bother you that so many people are happy to see you fail?
Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, all the people that was rooting on me to fail, At the end of the day, they got to wake up tomorrow and have the same life that they had before they woke up today. They got the same personal problems that they had today. And I'm going to continue to live the way I want to live and continue to do the things that I want to do with me and my family and be happy with that. So, they can get a few days or a few months or whatever the case may be on being happy about not only myself, but the Miami Heat not accomplishing their goal, but they got to get back to the real world at some point.
Buck, you have managed now through what is being called the steroid age, that more and more the steroids have apparently gotten into the game. As a manager, have you known that some of your players were taking steroids? Buck?
Norm, I got you.
As a manager, have you known at any of your stops that your players were taking steroids? Jeremy, I can't hear Buck.
Norm, I got you.
Buck, do you hear me there?
Yeah, I hear you good. Don't think I'm trying to cut the phone off because you're getting ready to ask a tough question now.
No. Have you known that
Norm, it was good talking to you today, and I'll see you next week.
What?
So go ahead.
Have you known that any of your players was taking steroids?
You know what, Norm, let's be completely frank.
It's just after 10 p.m. This is the adult tour, which means you can drink if you want, and we can say whatever the hell we want. Sorry?
Like shot? You can say that because you said we can say whatever the hell we want?
Sure.
Or horse?
Yeah, I guess. There are no rules about swearing.
Awesome.
Hangs on coming at you. Hangs on coming at you.
Now?
Sure. Let's go now.
Oh, okay. I thought there was like a beep beep or something. I'm Jim Schutz, author of The Accommodation, and I always listen to Dan and Jake on The Ticket. I never miss it.
I might have bought a book about Hitler's other mistress.
It's just afternoon on Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310 The Ticket. So pop that lunch on your car tray, sit back, and hang in the hang zone.
Defensive tackle Mean Joe Green played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yvonne.
NFL Team 6.
Running back Marcus Allen. Anupama.
What is Colorado Rockies?
No, sorry.
Featuring
the devil himself, Matt Birmingham.
Yeah, I called out work because I played drums for 3 hours and only drank Dr. Pepper.
The Patriots equipment manager.
Tit.
Blake Jones. Who Blake Jones?
It's all gravy, baby.
And now, your hang zone host. From noon to 3, it's Jake Kemp and Dan McDowell.
Let's be great.
Buck?
Olay. I'd forgotten about that.
All right. Time's infinity. It is Dan and Jake here. Show number...
All right.
Show 7, 8, 9... Oh. How about that, Jake?
How about that, Dan? Your favorite.
That's not the way you like your unmarked bills.
6 afraid of...
Numbers.
9. Why was...
No, why was 6 afraid of 7?
Why was 4 afraid of... Okay. 13.
It's show 7, 8, 9. Sequential.
Yeah, I like my bills.
That is not non-sequential.
Non-consecutive.
These are marked and sequential. Yes. It's Alamo Movie of the Month Eve.
The Alamo.
And I look over in the corner of the studio. And I see the rating meter. I don't know if you've ever been to a radio studio, those out there in Radio Land. It's kind of like the Jumbotron will have the applause meter at the AAC. There's a rating meter, and it's very low. How can we fix this? What if we send out a signal? a silhouette.
So stupid.
I was so mad when I found out that the
Of
volume
two girls
meter
in one cup.
was
What?
not real. I was so mad when I found out that
You
the
actually
volume,
bought that?
yeah, until I was
I think
probably at
only
least, like, 12 or
anyone
13.
under the age of 8 buys the applause meter.
I hung on too long. I'm like, boy, it is rocking in here.
Every time I applaud louder, though, it goes up.
Yeah, so
when they implore me to
explain
do
that.
so.
You probably also have a working Santa tracker on your phone right now, too.
Sure, it's NORAD puts it out there.
Yeah,
Gordon
it is
Keith of the
NORAD.
Musers
That's
joins
right.
us every week for See You Next Tuesday. Saad is hanging out here because he's going to talk hockey with us later, so you're welcome to jump in.
Yeah, that's interesting.
If
Good
you need
point.
to challenge Gordo on anything, Saad, I don't know if you've ever taken him on.
No, I don't think. I think I'll sit that one out.
He's a formidable foe, but getting older.
Formidable.
I don't know. That's that.
Much like LeBron.
I don't know, man. I
He-
think I've gotten older in the past 5 years, and I don't think Saad's recognizing
Saad is not
that.
recognizing that.
You
so I
can't
have
even
a,
stomach it.
I know. I find it very hard to even stomach
I have
this
a few-
moral high ground coming from Saad over there.
I had a couple of ideas to for some things we can talk about, but I received a late phone
NORAD
call.
Santa tracker isn't on there.
I received a late phone call just before the show informing me of an off-air play that was going on yesterday with the Musers. So
Okay.
P1s didn't hear about this. You guys were on remote?
Yeah, we were, Dan. We were.
And apparently, somehow, it evolved into a play about presidents having the secrets. You know how Trump had some classified files at Mar-a-Lago, and I guess George Bush was once on Kimmel, and Kimmel asked about, secrets that he knows and what could he reveal. And apparently there's a classified file with all the information, all the questions you could have. They're all answered about the moron dog situation.
Yes.
Under lock and key.
We did, during commercial breaks, during yesterday's show, George and I did one of the funniest shows we have ever done, just for each other, and Junior was listening too.
And it's 4 hours long. He said,
piping in every once in a while.
Well, the guy who told me said, Junior was even jumping in.
Yeah.
Where Junior
Oh, yes.
often will let you guys just do your thing, and he's searching
Right.
NBA stats.
Junior just tolerates us like children, like we're kids.
But he said it got so big that even Junior jumped on board.
We had so many laughs coming up with so many ridiculous scenarios. We broke down and Zapruder filmed Moron Dog again. And in the secret file that the president had, it was the secret identity of the person who told you to bring the dog in the first place.
Because that was a big question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, who told you to bring the dog in the first place?
Bob had narrowed it down that someone had told you.
And I evaded
He just
it.
didn't know the exact identity of the person.
I evaded.
Yeah.
I refused to answer that question.
Bob even knew who told you to bring the dog in the second place and third and fourth place. Did not know who told you to bring the dog in the first place.
Didn't the file also contain the meeting minutes for when they met and talked about this before the show?
Yeah,
that we're going to do the
what
show
they
for the P1.
went over in the meeting.
Right.
What they went
We went over this. We planned for all scenarios.
Yes.
And then the conspiracy that there was a second clapper.
Right. Yeah, not all whistles seem to come from your mouth.
And it was even brought up.
Acoustic analysis.
So Trump knows. It was in the
Trump
documents
knows,
that he took?
Well, there's some debate on that. We know that George W. Bush knew, but when Trump became president, he was so controversial that some of the higher-ups didn't know if they should share the information with Trump. So it went even higher than the level of president.
Wow.
It's just too sensitive.
Too sensitive, way too sensitive. And we also found out that Bob had in his hand a cognitive test on the dog. And that it had tested positive for moron.
He wasn't just shooting from the hip.
No. It was not. Yeah, this isn't just some random insult that the guy in the next cubicle over delivered. He had information backing up, and he was waving it around as he was saying to your animal, moron dog. Come over here and have some more, you moron
Which seems
dog.
extra mean.
Yeah.
to be pointing that out.
But, I mean, you got to hand it to Bob for his thoroughness to actually put the dog through a battery of mental examinations.
Now, did the file also, did it contain whether or not this had been discussed on the station earlier regarding Juan Gonzalez?
Yeah, there was a big question as to whether or not somebody did bring it up at all.
Maybe they did. I don't know.
Maybe the station did bring it up at all. Would you try to focus?
See, that's hard to...
I'm getting the dog. Why don't you try to focus?
Because we were
You're
in a
talking,
meeting.
not me.
We were in a meeting.
That's right.
Planning out every scenario. And so it was hard to,
we went over
to also
this in
track.
the meeting. Y'all had gone over the whole moron dog scenario in the meeting.
Right, and it's not playing out the way we had planned.
Right. And you were frustrated, and I understand why you were frustrated.
Eventuality, and it's not...
Yes. And you reminded
you got to have a cool
Bob.
head. You got to have a cool head. Once the bullets start flying...
You reminded Bob that y'all had been over all of this in the meeting.
And he wanted to deviate.
Yeah. See, and that's you don't want to be in those tough situations like that with a guy who's deviating from the plan.
So was Kimmel pointedly asking Bush about this situation?
Yeah, he was asking, So can you tell us who, told Dan to bring the moron dog?
Oh, the crowd loves that.
Everybody loved it.
They all want the
It
information.
was the question
as well.
they were waiting to be asked.
Did we get isn't there some kind of a 50-year it gets unsealed type thing?
Oh, yeah.
Freedom of Information Act?
Yes. Yeah. There's news that it's been kicked down the road. Like it was about to be released on the 20-year anniversary.
The Republic is too fragile right now.
And they figure there's so much civil unrest that they just don't want to introduce that.
And then,
so we started this at in the 6 o'clock hour. And all of a sudden, it was in the 9 o'clock hour. We're still talking about it. And it's during break. And there was a lull in the conversation. And Tyler, our board operator, talks back to us down the line at our remote and says, I hope someday I love something as much as y'all love Moron Dog.
It's what we're all after.
He said, I turned to Kevin, who was producing us yesterday. He said, I turned to Kevin when y'all started this, and I told him that you watch. They'll still be talking about this 3 hours from now. And lo and behold, we were.
Kevin Landrum works on the weekends up here.
Why is that a drop?
I don't know, because I said it once.
We need it reset because we don't know who you're talking about.
But yeah.
We could have been Kevin McHale.
I'm embarrassed to say that we spend that much time. It's not a bit. We spend so much time on that.
I wish Tyler was rolling on that and then put it out on a podcast.
I'm telling you, it was some of the funniest stuff we've ever said, and it was off the air, unfortunately.
Hey, Ham's back.
Yeah, he was sick yesterday.
What was wrong with him?
Had a little pukey stomach.
Oh, did you eat anything unusual?
I have been taking vitamins for the past week.
So that's the issue.
That's right.
He
Your
went
system is revolting.
Yeah.
5 days of multivitamins.
It was too much.
Yeah.
And now you've sworn them off?
I think if I go back to them, I'm going to cut them in half.
What are they?
Start just
are you taking
microdosing on them.
Flintstones?
No, but I could
He's
take
the
those because
only
it's
guy
foreign.
who microdoses multivitamins. He has to microdose them.
So I have some health talk happened last night in the kitchen as I'm cleaning, and my wife is walking around. I don't know, doing stuff. I don't know what she does. But it ain't cleaning the kitchen. That's me.
Well, of course, she had prepared the meal that you guys consumed.
No, she would pick it up, though. She's big on picking it up from the restaurant. Got to give her that.
That's her guilt reliever?
Got to give the old gal that.
I'll get it. I'll go. I'll run out and get it.
Yeah, which is nice. Because, once I'm home, I get the slippers on. I'm in front of a fire. I got my pipe. I'm a little highball. I'm reading a book in front of the fire. That's my time to be home.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Anyway, so I'm trying to eat healthier. Little by little throughout life, I cut out Pepsi. I used to have a Pepsi every night while we watched TV, and then I cut that out. What I've recently added, because I had some recent blood issues, so I've added. I'm trying to eat foods that are higher in iron to help my blood iron count.
So anemia.
Yes. anemia. Borderline anemia is what I was going through. And so I have added...
Because you don't eat red meat. That's one of the sources of iron.
Correct. I found that razor clams are the highest concentration of anything I can find with iron. It had like 260% daily value, but a small tin of razor clams costs like $10. So
if you're taking iron
kind of ruining
supplements, you got to watch that because that can be hard on your stomach.
Yeah, and I've read that too, so I don't do that. I'm trying to do this naturally, like Gabe Kapler would have me do. So I have, I always eat a cut apple every morning on my way to work. So I've added to my repertoire a little Tupperware thing full of spinach. And I'll just eat that plain.
Just raw spinach.
Raw spinach, and then I'll have an apple, and that's whatever. And she tells me last night, she's like, hey, I read something where you got to watch out how much spinach you eat. And I'm like, what? Wait.
Oh, this is the one thing I'm eating healthy these days.
Yeah, like, so now I have to watch what I'm eating, the healthy thing I'm eating.
Yeah.
I thought you could eat unlimited.
Look at ham as your example. Too much of a good thing is bad for your system.
Well, unlimited vegetables, I've always been under the impression you could eat a ton, you could eat whatever. She says no, it's because of, it's real high in calcium, and you could get kidney stones. This is how I learned she doesn't drink even a glass of water all day. Because I said, well, I drink a ton of water. I think that...
Big water.
I think that's why... I think when people get kidney stones, often they're told, hey, just drink more water. That's going to help out a lot. But
I thought
again,
it was unrelated to that.
Is it?
I don't know. I mean, I work in AM radio.
I just remember when Uncle Gary got kidney stones, he didn't drink any water. That was the big advice for his doctor, and it was, from what I understand, at least he told me, very, very painful, and it could take days.
Oh, yeah. Wolonsky has some horror stories about that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So it's a stone, something hard deposit, a calcium deposit that develops inside your bladder, and then you've got to push it out the way things get pushed out from your bladder.
It's like passing a cockle burr. You know those things? When you're walking through a field and you get them on your, like a sticker, like a burr.
Okay. And it'll...
Imagine
like
that going through. Yeah.
Scrapes along the way. And
Ty, you've had one?
2.
Oh.
They're
what did
awful.
they tell you? What was the...
It was water and, just mainly cut back on soft drinks, anything like that. But, yeah, it's... Luckily, the first time, it passed pretty quickly. The second time, it took about a week.
Did it sound like a coin hitting the urinal?
Painful every day?
It gets less painful as you go, and they gave me some medication, and they want you... They said, get a strainer and pee through the strainer so you can catch the stone.
To eat it. It's good luck.
Yeah, it's good luck.
Like placenta.
So you can if
it's
I
like
wanted
a cherry,
to
you put it on top of the placenta pie.
If I wanted to take it back, I could have.
Dollop,
but
cream.
Yeah, so finally one day, like a week later, all of a sudden I'm peeing through the strainer.
Do you
and all
have
of a sudden,
it?
I did. I don't have it anymore.
Oh man, you know what?
Make
we
a pendant necklace.
Put money we can make on that.
And doesn't it like extend its arms and cling to the walls like when you're getting a kid to try to leave like an amusement park or something?
It's like taking the dog out when he doesn't want to go.
Right.
It's dug in.
So we ended up with it's the dumb zone in my house too. I ended up asking her, and we didn't know, or she said yes, but I asked, can a woman get kidney stones?
Yes.
And then it got into can she just shoot them out? Like,
what?
Like it doesn't hurt her.
They still have
like
a urethra.
Tobacco?
Yeah, just like can like you'd flick a marble or something. You just like fire it at you. Like could she
like paper football?
She just
kind of
fires
out,
leans back and fires one at me.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm not going to drink water so I can do the kidney stone bit.
Yeah, hits one of the pans.
We have
hanging
company
there.
coming over, so
yeah.
I'm going to show them our new party trick.
So is it painful if a woman has a kidney stone? How do you know? You don't know anything.
He does know.
You just said you're an
about the
AM
female
radio
body.
That's a weird claim, but
it's true.
It's kind of true.
Do you feel like among all the guys at the ticket, and it's all really there are at the ticket, from every person at the ticket, you know the most about the female body?
That's a weird claim.
But
I
it's
don't
not
know
even
if that's
close.
true.
It's definitely true.
You say, Gordon,
yes.
If we do a quiz, A station-wide quiz, Gordon will win.
I think if you asked him to draw the female reproductive system right now, you would not be able to tell the difference between that and a health book. Whereas if we did it, it would look like Jubb's mosquito drawing.
It's just like one tomahawk chop, and that's it for you guys.
There's a
It's
home
like, no, there's
plate.
stuff inside, too.
Not
It's
even
different.
close.
Babies in belly. There's a place for an egg, probably.
It's in there somewhere.
There's a basket of eggs in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On each side. And in the middle, there's a baby sitting in a lawn chair, waiting to be born.
Baby?
In case you ever decide you want to have a baby.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
A little tiny lawn chair. Okay.
You guys didn't study the female body growing up because you were so curious as to what this mysterious, magical other was about?
Studied the outside of it.
Hell yeah, bro. Give me a high five.
Love the ladies.
Okay, it's devolved now.
Blake has an FBI T-shirt.
Yeah.
From Spencer's. Remember that?
Federal boob inspector.
Or female body inspector.
Mine said bikini.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. I love seeing other dudes that love tail.
Oh.
Yeah, Gordo.
Like me.
We're just bros hanging out, right?
All right, well.
You guys want to beetle it right now? We'll just talk about hot girls and we'll beetle it.
I'm going to Google. Oh, okay, beetle it. That's a previous.
Yes.
We
That's a
do
Kemp
need someone
stand.
to get a graph or a chart or a list of all the See You Next Tuesday episodes and what the topic has.
I think we would look back and be appalled at the
There's
weight
no doubt.
of stupidity.
Can you do that
we
research
leave.
for us, Blake?
Yeah, absolutely.
Little word
I don't
cloud
have time,
that's just
sir.
one word.
I have the time for you, sir. 12:50 today.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that.
Yes!
Look at the rating meter, Jake.
Oh!
I've never seen it that high.
That's so high. Uh-oh, they're hearing my closing music and
Oh no, waning.
it's starting to go down. Oh,
What if we tease Sod is going to be here?
no. Oh, my God! It's going up!
I feel sorry for the rest of DFW Radio.
He or she has really gotten themselves in a bad situation.
Business Tuesday.
Business Tuesday.
With a sponsor.
BOETexas.com.
Today is the day that HBO Max changes its name to Max. You would think if they're going to change to anything, maybe just HBO? No, just Max. We think that's a bad bit. And we will be joined later, after the 1:30 news, by a guy who actually was in the room when they were making that decision. He was part of the downsizing when HBO had a recent merger as well.
So
he'll be on with us about 2 o'clock.
I've pitched this to you before that a lot of times, especially in the media world, sometimes in political campaigns, I will say, boy, I wish I could have been in that meeting. Just kind of walk me through how we arrived at this one. And now it's pretty close.
Yeah.
We'll talk to a guy who was in the meeting.
So we gave you the story last week, I think. We talked about how many car manufacturers are going to eliminate AM radio in their vehicles. And in fact, there is, I believe Ted Cruz is part of this bipartisan bill that they're trying to work through. Yeah, Ted Cruz and Senator Ed Markey. So I'm going to guess Ed Markey is not a Republican if they're saying it's a bipartisan group.
I believe that is correct.
They actually have something called the AM for Every Vehicle Act, which is legislation to mandate AM radio has to be in vehicles. Overall, I would just say that's weird. But I suppose they also had legislation that mandated seatbelts, and it really had nothing to do with your safety. It had to do with insurance companies paying out on dead people.
Yeah. Liability.
Because Big Auto didn't want that. In fact, that might be a fun Business Tuesday someday. I got to reading about that, just how that even started, the seatbelt laws. And, Big Auto fought it because that's costing them money to have to install seatbelts. So yeah, don't get your don't think that when they make laws, it's about what's best for people.
Deceit. In most cases, yes.
So the AM for Every Vehicle Act, certainly there are lobbyists paying these people to say, hey, we need to keep this, keep AM in, because you would think, well, let cars do whatever they want. They build the car, and if you like it, you're going to buy it. So they're trying to get legislation there. And in the face of that, one of the companies that said they were getting rid of all AM radio from here forward, or as Cousin Greg would say, from henceforth. Man, I love Cousin Greg. Ford has stepped up following pressure from lawmakers and what they call an uproar from the radio industry. Ford says that it will keep AM radio in its new vehicles. They had planned to anything 2024 and forward was going to be without AM radio. So,
and again, the
us.
case here is that it somehow interferes with an electric vehicle's engine or something. I haven't really had this fully explained to me in a way that makes sense because I don't know anything about cars.
Well, it says here regarding that, for any owners of Ford electric vehicles without AM broadcast capability, we'll offer a software update. So I don't know. I don't know what it all means. It's the future. We'll figure it out in the future, right?
I mean, to go back to your original point, it was probably just that the companies will say, oh, this is interfering with the signal, but really it's that we don't want to pay to put these in here because most people aren't using them. So they can cut costs rather than standardizing it across their entire fleet for the 10% or less of people who actually use them.
I mean, it could end up being like a CD player where you could pay extra to have that in there. But that doesn't seem like something anyone would do.
No, it doesn't.
I'll take the AM add-on.
Dumb Zone, are we going to have to update our cars like we do our computers one day? And how annoying is that going to be?
You kind of already have to do that on some newer cars. Like, I'm pretty sure mine does like a software update.
Like a satellite thing?
Yeah, and I don't have some crazy nice car. But I know for sure that my Pops' Tesla does. And it seems like he has to do it.
Chappie has a Tesla?
Yeah.
With a personalized license plate.
The personalized license plate is on the truck.
Oh,
My
okay.
stepmom usually drives the Tesla.
Okay, because he took me, we went to eat together, and I drove in a truck.
But
and
yes.
that checked out. That's
Yes.
Chappie.
Does he have truck nuts on the Tesla?
He does not, but as I played for you guys that one time when he first bought it and figured out that he could make it play farts, which I don't know why that exists, but it was the funniest thing he's ever seen. He sat in his car and just cry-laughed, playing different farts from
That
his
checks out.
touchscreen panel. The peak of automotive technology, all the things that vehicle can do. And he's calling my daughter over like, hey, listen to this one. He'll go, that was a short one. A little ripper. It's ridiculous. But anyways,
And who was more mature when that would play? Your daughter or your dad?
They were on the same level, roughly,
Okay.
yes.
I
But
like
he
that.
does have to update his...
That's why she loves him, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. He has to update his vehicle's operating system. Just like a phone or a computer.
Yep.
Well, I hope there's a remind
Get a
me later
USB
button.
to
right.
USB X thing or T for the Tesla. All right. One more story here. So apparently this is happening at self-checkout machines. Do you like self-checkout?
It depends. I kind of just assess the situation as it presents itself, you know?
Yeah, I wish I never had to do self-checkout anywhere. I hate it. But, like you said, I mean, at the grocery store, they generally will keep so few lanes open they'll be backed up with people with giant full carts.
Yeah.
And then even if you kind of have a basket of stuff and it's going to be a beating, you'll be like, all right.
It sucks with produce because you have to like put the stuff, put
Weigh
the
it.
numbers in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I will tell you also that I'm not a guy who is prone to stealing. We talked about stealing a couple weeks ago. I've only really done it once in my life in high school. I do get the urge to steal when I'm at the self-checkout.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you. If I buy
You're like, 4
4
is there
of
a
something,
camera
I'm
on
like,
me
why don't I
here?
just scan 3?
Yeah.
I've never done it.
Well, they do have the weight thing sometimes. If you put it, they'll
That's
want you
true.
to bag it.
That's true.
You could write skip bagging, but now that takes a little step and a little. That's like you're more complicit if you steal.
Yeah.
When if you just do it real quickly, it's not as
I think
bad.
about it.
At the grocery store that I go to when I do self-check, and they've had that where something rings up and they have to come over and unlock it, they do have a camera on me because all of a sudden the little video pops up of you from behind.
It's depressing, too, when you see that video. You're like, is that what I look like? That's the most disappointed I ever am in my appearance at the self-checkout.
That's second for me. The first is when I open my camera and it's on it's facing me, and it's like a downward angle, and got 6
that's what
chins.
people are having to look at.
Yeah, it's horrible.
What about the picture at Six Flags when you go through the
roller coaster?
It's
kinda
off the
fun.
roller coaster.
You
and
know
see
that's
yourself.
coming, though.
Yeah.
And then you get to know where it is, and then you're doing weird
Give it
stuff.
the finger.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I love giving the finger.
So self-checkout.
Oh, self-checkout. So they say, business says, at some airports, bakeries, coffee shops, and stadiums across the United States right now, they will have a tip screen pop up. It's bad enough when... See, I always tip.
Yeah, they're
when someone
taking
turns it.
advantage
But
of
I've done
us.
this at the airport. They'll turn it to you. You're at the airport. You're just standing there. You're standing behind the counter. You've done nothing. I went, I got the water and the peanuts or whatever. I'm taking on the flight. And you've done nothing for me except to ring it up, and then you turn it and it says tip. Now, I will give a lower tip, but I'm kind of guilted into it, and I don't know why. It's just in my head.
I'm the same way.
Like, and I know they make you probably make crappy money. You're working at the checkout at an airport.
I'm the same way, and they can hustle me on it too, but I'm not tipping a robot. I have to have a line somewhere, and tipping a machine, that's got to be the line. I can't do it. Just make the stuff cost more. Lie to me.
I
If you
can't
need
imagine
help
why
with the bottom
anyone,
line.
Do you think people are doing it, though, just because you blindly, all right, I'll hit it, because I'm used to hitting it? Like, they're probably thinking, if I can get 1 out of 100 people to hit yes, we'll add that up across our nation of stores. And
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
We'll get an extra $1 million this year because we added the tip.
But my thing is also on those situations, who is that tip going to? Because that's my biggest thing is when you have just these, like your example of the with the airport stuff. I don't know that it's going to go to that person anyways. Like, I don't know if it just goes to
Right.
the
Obviously,
man.
you're not giving cash that they
Right.
can hold. You're giving whatever, 10%.
Same sort of deal when I go to the drive-through coffee place. Now, I know they're actually making something, but the person who hands me the thing that says add tip 1, 2, 3, 5, whatever, that person didn't make it. So how do I ensure?
Does it just go to the cashier, or
That's
does it
probably
go
what it
to
is.
the
It's
people
just
who are
a-
actually making it?
Just a front of house tip split type thing for
Yeah.
everybody?
I would assume.
Well, when I
hope.
worked as a cook, you did not split. Like, the waitresses wouldn't split their tips with you.
Some places mandate that. I don't know if it happens
Or
as much in a-
busboy.
Yeah.
And busboy, that's even worse.
Yeah.
That's the crap.
I'm not tipping a robot. I'm going to die on that hill.
Well, you don't want to make them mad.
I do not, no.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than an angry, poor robot.
All right, well, there's another edition of Business Tuesday on a Tuesday. And now, we generally kind of hear the close, but we'll just do the 1:30 news next.
He's rusty.
Business Tuesday.
Here's Jake with the 1:30 news.
All right, thank you, Blake. Thank you, Halo God Guy. Here he is, Ham.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Milestone Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and more.
One quick follow-up on a story we had yesterday about the guy who stole the DART bus and took it for a joyride. I didn't see this in the story that I had initially read yesterday morning of how he was able to pull this off. He hot-wired it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before Uber, I drove bus.
That's definitely a thing as a kid. That
Oh, yeah.
And it looks so easy.
It
on
always
TV,
is.
for sure.
Yeah.
You just kind of undo the little thing next to the,
Find
We're
two
not
wires
off to a good
and-
start, Dan.
and then you grab the two wires and touch them together, and all of a sudden it starts.
Undo the thing.
Yeah.
Undo the thing. But yeah, this guy, he crashed into several parked cars. It made its way onto Good Latimer Expressway and Central. And then crashed into someone riding a bicycle.
You should get less of a penalty or whatever if you can hotwire a car.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And then another follow-up on a story from a few weeks ago. The Gathering of the Kyles.
Oh, yeah.
You guys remember this story?
How'd that go?
That the city of Kyle wanted to break the world record for having the most people gathered with the same first name. And of course, they went with Kyle. The Gathering of the Kyles.
Is it common enough to set a record?
Well, I'm certainly glad you asked, Dan. The answer this time, again, was no. They pulled up about 800 people short. 800 Kyles.
That's not close.
Well, so they had 1490.
You need the Gathering of the Mohammeds.
It is the most common name on earth. They were trying to break the record of 2,325 people.
What were they named?
Ivan. And it was in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
They have nobody to blame but themselves.
I'm sure I should get this joke, but I don't.
Because they're named Kyle. And they can only blame Kyles for not showing up.
That's true. Okay, sorry. Slowing the uptick there. I thought we were still talking
I thought
Ivan.
we were doing a movie reference.
Yeah. You never know with this guy. So they put out a statement. We are so grateful to the hundreds of Kyles that attended the Kyle Fair Tex Extravaganza. Kyle Fair Tex Extravaganza to participate in this world record attempt. Kyles from all over the country answered the call, with Kyles from 49 of the 50 states, including Hawaii and Alaska.
Just 49, though.
Yeah.
Wonder what state was not represented.
Who set it out? I don't know.
Probably California libs.
I don't want them Californiaing my Kyles or something. I don't know.
They should do all Karens.
You think they
could do that at
get crossways with each other?
They could do that at just go to the local school board meeting and they'll break the record.
Solid.
Thanks.
You're not wrong. And then another follow-up from a story we've covered here on the 130 News Desk over the past few years.
Someday they'll do all Aidens. Sorry.
You heard a clip in the Open today of what year was that Jeep weekend, Blake?
2020.
It was 2020? Okay. So apparently, this is something they do every year.
Mark Blake saying 2020.
Galveston County, where it's just a huge party on the beach with Jeep people. It is the annual Go Topless Jeep weekend.
Yeah, because then you have in your
people.
mind topless women, but they mean the car.
Correct, but I do think there are a lot of both.
Oh, yeah?
As well as a lot of alcohol and drugs and arrests.
And Jeep waves.
What's that?
It's just like,
It's a two-finger?
Two-finger.
Yeah, off the steering wheel.
They have their own logo now.
Like they'll put a sticker on their car?
Yeah.
So you raise two fingers, that's a Jeep wave.
Yeah.
Is there a Harley wave?
I think that one's just down.
What? Harley?
Yeah. Because, again, to reference my dad again, I'm pretty sure he does it.
What's this?
That is the Shocker, Dan.
That's right.
Do you think anyone at Go Topless Jeep Weekend had a tire cover that says, if you can read this, pull me out of the mud or whatever the...
No.
What is it?
If you can read this, flip me over.
That's right.
And it's upside down.
Love Jeep guys' bits, man. That's a specific type of guy for sure. Very few people just kind of end up sort of into it. You know, you got to wave, go to events. And in this case...
Yeah, I would think Chappie would be Jeep guy, not
Harley guy?
Tesla guy.
Yeah, I mean, again...
Harley kind of makes sense, too.
My stepmom primarily drives it, the Tesla.
Here's another good one. When it's facing you, like, when you're driving down the road, it says no problem, and then underneath it, upside down, it says problem.
Yeah. Yeah. At this particular Jeep weekend, again, 80,000 people attended on Saturday. 234 arrests, with 30 of them related to driving under the influence of alcohol. I'd say that's low.
And the arrest is pretty low. 80,000 people?
Yeah, 234 arrests. That was by 2 p.m. on Sunday, but then the event wrapped up.
They're very well behaved overall.
Surprisingly, this year, yes. What were the injuries here specifically? I believe there were 2 people critically injured, but again, you get 80,000 people on the beach with trucks and Jeeps and SUVs and booze. 2 people injured doesn't, you know?
Here's
seem like the worst.
Here's a sticker with 3 Jeeps. One's a little, one's getting a little bigger, medium, and then a real big one. It says, the more I play with it, the bigger it gets.
I like that. I love that.
I get it.
Yeah.
Party.
The Dallas housing market added more apartments than anywhere in the nation in the past decades.
Should we cheer for that, or is that bad?
10 years. You're just saying because they're apartments and not houses? Because I believe we're adding both.
I mean, do we pump our chest out? Like, yeah, man, Dallas. Or do we say, oh, this is a bad sign?
Did we talk about the story the other day where DFW's projected to pass Chicago?
Oh, no, really?
Yes, I believe
What's
so.
the list right now? New York, L.A., San Francisco?
I believe Chicago
New York, LA,
is 3.
Chicago.
Houston typically has been 4.
Houston, Dallas, San Francisco, all mixed somewhere in those 3?
Yeah.
Because I know Dallas has been, I don't know, I think it was 5 last time I looked.
I believe we are on track. I just saw the story the other day. I thought we talked about it, but we're on track to pass Chicago in population.
Is that because of the migration? The southern migration?
For sure.
And all Chicago ladies are all bloated and fat, and
I know.
They don't have babies like we do here.
I don't think that's it.
You ever go up there?
Yeah, with you.
There's a lot of bloated fat people.
There are.
In the north.
There are. You got to sturdy up for the winter. That's a place where I really wanted to live most of my life.
Chicago?
Yes.
Is that your kind of town?
I don't know. Home Alone just looked really cool. Chicago looked great. Okay, I got you. Got it. But then I went there for that hockey game that we attended, and I thought that I was going to die.
What do you mean?
It was I've never felt that kind of cold before, ever.
In the arena?
No, it was outside. Like whenever we walked a small distance from our hotel.
It's cold and windy.
It's the Big Apple, baby.
Yeah.
And I just had never felt that sort of chill.
Yeah, you don't want to
live off the lake
up there,
or whatever the case is. You know, you think, all right, I go skiing. I can deal with extreme cold. What's the big deal? I couldn't do it.
And I don't know if Chicago, I would assume Chicago's kind of the same as Cleveland. But you're talking about more than half the year. Just gray.
Yeah.
Depressing. There has to be more suicides up there than there are here. That's probably why we're going to pass them in population.
The coldest I've ever been was in Cleveland. And it's just because the wind comes right off the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And it just eats you alive.
Let's see here. Oh, this isn't a ranking. Oh, maybe it is.
Ranking what? City size? Or
Suicides.
Oh, suicides.
Yeah.
Suies.
Suies, that's right.
Like ranking the best way to commit suicide?
No, this is just, number of deaths per 100,000 total population. And I think I have the list here. Texas actually ranks pretty... It looks like we're about 20th.
All right.
Is that bad or good?
Going from 1 to 50, 1 being good, 50 being not so good. 50 is Wyoming.
The most gun deaths?
Suicide deaths
suicides?
of any sort, yeah. The
nothing
most
there.
are, and it's all the same. Wyoming, Montana, Alaska, New Mexico, South Dakota. The top 5 in the most.
Are northern cities generally in the top half? Or no? Have they just
surprisingly
learned to cope?
surprisingly not really. Like Illinois and it's fine. And New Jersey and New York are number 1 and number 2.
I guess you do. Think about Wisconsin people. They're not beaten. They're not sad. They're all real happy and friendly and helping you out.
They've just sort of learned to live with it.
Obviously.
If you need hockey gear,
yeah,
you can track some down in your neighborhood. All right, that's going to do it.
But the people who aren't happy with it move here. That's what
all
Bob.
works out.
Libs.
Yeah, don't Wisconsin my Texas. All right, that's going to do it for the 1:30 news today. Coming up next.
YouTube.com/@SportsGreek.
Once again, the Hang Zone presents Why Today Doesn't Suck.
Let's go down and talk to John Radigan, who has Colby Lewis with him.
Yeah, we got Colby here. Try to put into words how you're feeling right now, Colby.
It sucks.
And now, here are your hosts, Jake Kemp and Dan McDowell.
Party.
All right, at 2:58, here he is, folks. He's free of vitamins, but he's back in the booth. It's Ham.
Thank you, Jake. Eatsy's Market and Bakery brings you Anemic Dan.
Or not.
Well, I think he got jammed up a little bit because the bathroom was closed.
Cutting a couple spots, bruv. Hi, Maddie.
A man of business.
Oh, am I allowed to say that?
Sure.
Okay.
Playoff Maddie's here.
Does she want to be on Why Today Doesn't Suck?
No.
It's funny.
Let's see. Does she ever listen? Do you ever listen? It's the last thing my kids would ever do. If your mom's on, yeah.
Oh, that hurts.
She listens to all
That's when
Sally's
I listen
segments.
That's when I listen to the Hardline.
Yeah, and and that's the reason we have the Ham is ready, is that she was
ready.
She was always recording.
He's always about the ham.
So we've introduced stuff, things. I didn't.
No, not really. You weren't that late.
All right, here's the Hardline. It's Bob, Maddie, Dave, and Dave. Because Corby's now cutting a spot. Got business, bruvs.
Sure. It's Business Tuesday.
It is Business Tuesday.
Got to pay for the new mics in here.
Are these new?
A couple of them are.
They do sound nice. Really?
They're just relocated from other studios.
Oh, okay.
It is Business Tuesday, mate. Oh, here's Corby.
What up, bitch?
Do we still have the Korean surplus talkback devices?
We do.
From WW2?
I'm sorry. If I said Korean surplus, I meant Korean War surplus.
Yes.
Can I call bingo on Corby's shirt?
These are artifacts now.
What's he wearing?
He's wearing an Isbell shirt.
You mean the new star of Killers of the Flower Moon shirt?
Well, I was drive-by truckers in the wash.
You wore that yesterday.
Shovels and rope.
This is his
Where's
best
Ice
one,
Road
for
Trucker
sure.
shirt?
It really is.
Where's Ronan?
He kills thunder-headed rain.
Your certified troubadour shirt.
Ice Road truckers, not available.
Blank you blanking Blake shirt, which I believe you were wearing around the era when
Here,
I
give
interned.
give one of these to Maddie.
Libs.
We're our new promotional item, Bob.
That just come in?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Those are nice.
Hangs on floss.
Does she floss enough?
Oh, I'm sure she does. I'm sure she's a model flosser.
It's Business Tuesday, May 23rd, 143rd day of the year, 222 days left in 2023. On this day in 1876, Boston's Joe Borden pitched the first no-hitter in National League history. It says here, Borden lost his effectiveness soon after.
Borden. You get his arm chopped off.
And ended the season as the club's groundskeeper.
Oh, no.
I guarantee you Nathan Eovaldi will end up as a groundskeeper by this end of this year.
Boy, what a fall.
Bark.
In 1984, Surgeon General C. Everett Koop.
Oh.
The best Surgeon General.
Maddie, who's your favorite Texas Ranger?
F. Murray Abraham.
She can't name one.
Oh, man.
Anyway, he issued a report saying
sports.
there was a very solid evidence linking cigarette smoking to lung disease in non-smokers. So that's your secondhand smoke.
Now, y'all go ahead and listen to that.
Libs.
This day in 1989, the longest home run ever hit at Arlington Stadium. Hit by?
God, Wando had it for a long time.
What year?
89.
Oh, 89.
Bo Jackson?
Oh, yeah.
Hit by Bo Jackson. Hit off of?
Nolan
Ryan. He could have never done that off JD.
Nope.
Technically true.
Jackson had been 0 for 6 against Ryan until this at bat with 6 strikeouts.
Wow.
Kind of an all or nothing type thing.
Nolan would have been
back at it.
42.
Every once in a while.
4 years older than LeBron.
Fine.
How did we just make this about LeBron?
Well, he's so old. How can anybody play that old?
On this day in 2021, so 2 years ago, a cable car taking visitors to a mountaintop in northern Italy's most picturesque lakes. Anyway, it plummeted. A cable car fell to the ground.
Gondola.
Tumbled down a slope. Killed 14 people.
Oh!
There were 15 on board. The lone survivor was a 6-year-old boy.
What year was that?
2021.
It's like we talked about yesterday. Kids are made of rubber.
Yeah.
Was he questioned?
Was this the one where the fighter jets cut the cable?
Ovaltine pocket knife?
Like accidentally?
Like at the
They were buzzing the tower.
Or they flew over for the anthem?
Yeah.
And on this day, same day, Phil Mickelson won the PGA Championship at age 50.
So the Saudis did it.
Becoming the oldest major champion in golf history.
That old Kiowa. With the tree.
Today's birthday is P1's. Vinny says, happy birthday to Landon Brett Kiedrowski. He is a day younger than Van.
That's awesome.
He's much better.
It took him 13 years to laugh at something on the ticket.
Tough crowd.
He says once all the sportsgasms went off.
That's what did it for me.
Oh my God!
13-year-old. He's relating.
The circle of sports.
Oh dear.
Oh, this is happy birthday to my brother Massey.
Brendan Massey.
He's 8 years old today. He loves to listen, especially when I'm on. This is from Weekend Rising Star E.A.
Corgi, actually.
The nemesis
Dalton broadcaster
of Ryan Medney.
Shambo.
Let's get on the EA train.
Okay, listen, I'm an excellent broadcaster.
You know, he was going to be here today if Ham took another vitamin day off.
You stupid takes.
He will defend LeBron's honor on you.
He's Michael Jordan now? Are you kidding me?
My wife Danielle is 30. Leaders are George, Bob, Dan, Jake.
George.
Would like to hear Dwayne Caraway say the musers' names.
Great.
From Matthew Markert.
Mark. Corgi, actually.
Dalton.
Mark.
We're going to be...
Just spit a few of those marbles out.
Those are golden tones there.
Cork.
Look at you good.
Guten Tag, Erdan.
So happy birthday to your little brother, EA, I'm sure.
Yep. How does he have a little brother that's 8?
It was shocking when he posted the photo.
So EA's got to be, what, 40, 45?
That's tiny EA.
Believe he's 34.
Like Walter Payton.
My age.
Do you think it's Dad's second wife?
Or his current mother has a spectacular uterus.
Okay.
Jeez.
Wow, that's
which is the name of my new band.
Spectacular uterus.
Birthday shout out from my brother, P1 Kevin Dean is 46. His leader is Jake, power washing his VRBO patio furniture.
I wonder. It did have to happen.
I wonder what his Aunt Paula Dean thinks of all that.
Get those little dried coconut trails off. Whoa.
He says his drop request is a race between TC attempting a sub 20-minute 5K against Monty's springy bionic leg.
That's a lot.
From P1 Eric Dean.
A sub 20-minute 5K from TC.
What was his claim? 6-minute
mile, yeah.
That projects, doesn't it?
Why didn't we
3
ever
months?
do that? Yeah, why didn't we ever do it?
We could never settle on terms. We probably should have just agreed to anything because he wasn't going to get there.
It was so ridiculous, we just gave up.
Like, you could have given him $10,000.
And I like that he had the give me 3 months thing. Like, he had a training regimen already kind of constructed.
A real defined plan.
Well, you know why he thought all that?
Hold on, the race is about to pass us.
They're neck and neck.
Is because his dad, like, there's something weird about the genetics in the family, because his dad was a marathon runner.
And his brother.
Yeah.
His brother.
Are marathon
In fact,
runners.
he's traveled...
Yeah.
Has he traveled overseas to watch them in a marathon?
I believe so. I know several places in the States, but I believe overseas as well.
TC's eating a marathon bar.
And he used to run cross country.
What?
Like in junior high.
Vague.
Before drug school?
Yes.
That's when they made everyone run cross country.
Yeah, it's no, like... It's like saying
Well, why do you
I was
need
in
to diminish
band.
the poor guy?
Do you think he gets up at like dawn?
Right. Tackles the day.
Has
starts
a
beating the
slice
feet.
of cake and then hits the road.
Yeah.
Maybe some raw eggs into a blender.
He's got the Prefontaine poster in his bedroom.
Right. Touches it.
My good buddy Bo.
He just mixes cake ingredients.
Cake mix. Also with raw eggs.
Yeah.
Bo Newerman wants a shout out. This is from P1 Bobby. It's his birthday. And we have V1 Natalie Olszewski.
Oh, I thought Dave's cat was about to have a birthday.
His leader is what Dave Lane does to his body for AM radio. Would like to hear any George DiGianni drop from her husband, Josh.
I know somebody's out there laughing about
Cocaine in moderation.
Somebody's out there laughing at Bo Nerman.
Was that a fake thing? Did I read a fake thing?
Do you think?
I didn't hear it.
Uh-oh.
Is it Bo Nerman's birthday today?
Oh, was it Boner Man? Okay.
Is that what it was?
Bo Nerman.
Sailed right over my head.
Bo Nerman. What an idiot!
Well, do you know that Saturday is the anniversary?
I know
of the
Colonial
Ava
Gina
email. Yeah. So maybe it's the same dude.
Now, this will probably end up 8th on George's emergency break list.
Bo.
Am I going to get ball sacked here?
Yeah, of the famous Nerman family.
Do we have it?
What?
Oh, I thought we had audio of that famous day.
The Ava Gina? Great. Elsewhere in birthdays, we have Buck Showalter is 67.
Buck.
Good friend of mine.
Essa Lindell is 29. We going to win one for Essa?
Hockey?
Well, he could
probably help
determine that. Preferably a little more.
What odds could you get for Essa scoring a hat trick tonight?
Jeez. The same as TC running a sub 6.
All right, I'm predicting that.
If he scores a goal,
Yeah.
Go on.
I feel great about our chances tonight.
That's unfortunate.
What'd
You're
you
about
want?
to make a bold
Oh,
claim.
TC's winning.
I want you to say you'll walk to Fort Worth in Shaq's shoes.
Probably not.
Aaron
Shaq's-
Donald is 32. Linda Thompson is 72. She was once married to Bruce Jenner.
Lindell had
She was
plus 25,000 odds on hat trick on Sunday night.
Miss Universe 1972.
That's even listed?
Yeah, on this prop site.
Well, I think because of the last 30 seconds, you're obligated to put 5 on it.
She was on Hee Haw. You mark that.
Oh, wow.
Legend.
Oh, Bob, Joan Collins is 90. Do the Joan Collins bit.
No.
Remember the movie she was in the 70s?
And I swear she has 8 birthdays a year.
It was called The
This
Bitch.
is Joan Collins, not Joan Crawford.
Yeah, Joan Collins.
I was trying to do
What's
a little,
the same?
little
What's the
fun
Little
humor
Jedi
with you,
mind
little-
trick.
Little play.
Do you
Play.
remember the movie The Bitch?
I do.
No.
Bitch. How did you miss out on that? Ty, surely you remember
It was a sequel to The Stud.
Yeah.
That's right.
I remember
She
the
got
toy.
naked in all kinds of films.
Drew Carey, 65.
Damn.
Cleveland rocks.
That's considerably older than I would have guessed.
I want to send a message.
No more jokes about Cleveland.
Do you think Drew thought that we just witnessed the closest sweep in NBA history?
As he's from Cleveland but now lives in L.A.
Yeah.
He's certainly a LeBron guy.
Net worth?
200
million.
I was going to go 50. But, yeah, I guess he did a series. He's probably like the creator, right?
Of the Drew Carey
125.
show?
Yeah.
165.
Dang.
Whoa, wow.
But I think he was getting producer credits on Game Show.
Boy, he can have fresh fruit for every breakfast.
That's not that lofty of a existence.
Fresh fruit. Elite fruit.
Elite fruit.
Joan Collins
What's
posed.
elite fruit?
Joan Collins posed in a swimsuit when she was 89 with her husband, who is 57.
Nice.
Yeah.
She
H.
looked
John
at
Benjamin
that.
is 56.
Elite fruit means it's
Archer.
not
Tim Robinson, 42.
packed with melon.
The great Tim Robinson. We are 7 days away
not
from
packed
season
with
3, Dan.
melon?
Ken Jennings, 49.
Mid melons just filling up the bowl.
It's filler.
Yeah.
Avery Cyrus is 23. I don't know who that is, but Avery Cyrus is from Colleyville and has 7 million TikTok followers.
So kiwi is an elite fruit.
Season 3 of what?
She might be able to help us.
Maddie, you know
Berries.
Avery Cyrus?
Mandarin orange.
She said, yeah?
Yeah.
What does she do? Influencer.
Influences.
Hey, season 3 of what?
She
Jake? What
makes
are you talking
money.
about?
I think you should leave. You never got into that?
No.
And Corby,
Oh, man.
Phil Selway is 56.
Radiohead.
Very important.
It's one of the weirdest,
Incredibly important.
one of the weirdest shows you'll ever watch, but I think you'll dig it. It's on Netflix.
Jewel is 49.
It's where that comes from, as it were.
Okay.
And her tooth.
What show? What station?
Netflix.
Invented vaping.
What station? Netflix was a great exchange on today's Why Today Doesn't Suck.
Born on this day, now dead, you have Scatman Crothers.
The Shining.
And
Hong Kong
Dummy,
Phooey.
That is
Dummy
Hong Kong
Hoy, the
Phooey.
mute Major League Baseball player.
He's not alive?
It's his birthday.
He's gay.
And dead on this day, still dead. We got some Bonnie and Clyde. Are they the ones with the grapevine thing? Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
They killed a police officer there, not a grapevine thing.
So that's not a thing
Well,
that happened in Grapevine?
It is, but you kind of made it sound like they owned an ice cream stand.
right.
They killed the top cop.
We got Heinrich Himmler
Like, do you think 9/11 was a thing?
Nazis.
That thing in New York.
Yeah.
and Ty.
That thing in
Hitler.
September.
Died on this day in 1999.
Oh, no.
Can you guys do tickers if Ty has to leave?
Oh, no.
Could you
Might hit
handle
me
it?
hard.
We can call EA, right?
Oh, he's ready.
Always.
Yeah.
He's ready.
All do.
Bryson, do you
Died on this day in 1999. Owen Hart.
Oh, my God.
My goodness.
Oh, the Blue
Norm did a
Blazer.
song about him, right?
No heart.
No heart.
That was a cover up.
He was a wrestler.
He was murdered.
Name's Owen Hart.
You couldn't find him. He signed all these rich guys.
All right.
He fell from the ceiling.
Why does the beat change in this? I don't. It's never made any sense to me.
That's the bridge.
It's pretty early for a bridge. Bye, Mino. Bye, Jake.
Bye, yeah.
Broadcasting live from the TXU Energy Mothership at Victory Park, hard by the AAC. This is Sports.
But right now, we better stop down for
Entertainment news for you.
which is brought to you by
Window Nation and All Pro Foundation Repair.
Okay, let's get together on the plaza.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up,
So, not sure if you guys remember, but we have a presidential election coming up next year.
Let's go. Can't wait, man.
What?
My favorite time of every 4 years. I eat it all up. It's so fun.
Yeah, so Biden, of course, is running for re-election. It looks like some woman named Marianne Williamson will attempt to wrestle the nomination from him, as will Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
And he will be how old?
RFK.
How old will Biden be?
Yeah, say November of 2024.
A million?
80-something. 82.
And so
We're electing all these guys that are the perfect age to represent what America is just all about.
Right.
80. 80!
So on the Republican side, currently you have Larry Elder, Nikki Haley, Asa Hutchinson, Vivek Ramaswamy, Tim Scott, Corey Stapleton.
Oh, he's one of Dude Perfect.
Yeah, he's one of the Corys. And, of course, the Donald. And tomorrow, on Twitter, have you come across anything on Twitter Spaces yet?
What does that mean?
I've actually seen the Ticket's own Saad Youssef hosting Dallas Stars talk on Twitter Spaces.
How do you do that?
It's Twitter's audio chats.
Oh.
So your
he's
followers,
running for president.
So, no.
it's their radio.
I vote for Saad.
No, so I'm just saying
that
Twitter Spaces, that Saad is my only knowledge of Twitter Spaces because it'll show at the top of your feed. Saad is doing a Twitter Spaces talk on the Stars
and
right
it's
now.
live? You have to listen live?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if it's archived or whatever.
Sounds a lot like radio.
Yeah, it's radio on Twitter. So tomorrow, right around this time, right around 4 o'clock Central Time, Elon Musk will be with Ron DeSantis as Ron DeSantis officially announces his candidacy for president. Meatball Ron.
You think he'll be introduced as Meatball Ron?
And they're saying that this could be a big boost for DeSantis because of if Musk is throwing his support behind him and his 140 million Twitter followers, that may help him in his race for the nomination against Trump. Not sure that it really will, because of that 140 million, probably half of those are bots that can't vote, right?
Yeah, I don't know how much any of that matters.
They let bots vote.
But it is kind of interesting that's where he thinks that it's going to be most effective for him to launch his campaign.
It is interesting. I have to hand it to the, I guess, the Republican Party, because 2016 and 2020 were not nearly as wheels off as 2024 appears to be, in the sense that you have two factions, like the Fox News versus the not Fox News. And then I don't think this will be quite as big a deal, but if Elon backs someone against Trump, that could we could have a really good undercard, I guess, on the way through the primaries. And stuff.
You could have 3 or 4 warring factions.
Whereas the Democratic Party seems incredibly boring.
Yeah.
In the sense that
There
they
he
are
is,
talking
Ralphie.
about an unchallenged 82-year-old president. But I guess that probably gets pretty weird when he's the sitting president for another year and a half, and you're basically saying we don't want you to run again. Like there's,
Oh,
I don't even know how
God
you
love you.
approach that, right?
I don't know.
So it appears they're almost saying, let's just run this back and
It's-
hope
it's
that,
like-
hope that everybody goes
Well,
for
you
it.
first
It's
you
like-
wake you wake him up and you tell him
Yeah.
what year it is.
Right.
It's like when Grandma and Grandpa want to keep hosting Christmas.
Right.
And you're like, you know what? It's time for someone else to do this now.
And they're setting the table with a spatula and a hammer.
But you're looking at the other options, and you're like, yeah, we don't want to have it at Uncle Steve's house.
Okay. Right.
Steve.
Right.
Guess
So
this is the best option.
Yeah, so pragmatism is let's just run it back.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't boo
Libs.
fans wearing other jerseys.
We have Golden Knights fans. They're not wearing their honey mustard jerseys. All the fans opt for the black versions.
Should I be Dallas elite hockey long timer now that we have markets that we can?
Yeah, you should totally bully.
They just don't know the rules of the game.
Oh,
They don't.
Yeah, they don't.
This
I know
must
what
be
icing
a
is.
third generation Vegas Knights family. They passed
What
it
does Paul Simon have in common with the snake?
I bet you we both had diarrhea.
Probably.
Okay.
Odds are that you have both had diarrhea, but that is not what I'm referring to. So, Paul Simon, he's 81 now, and he just put out his 15th solo album entitled Seven Psalms. And he revealed that during the recording of that record that he had hearing loss in his left ear. He said the hearing loss struck while he was writing the new album. It was quite sudden. I lost most of the hearing in my left ear, and nobody has an explanation for it, so everything became more difficult.
Did he say that he ended up having what I had, which is an acoustic neuroma?
No, maybe you need to get a hold of Edie and then have Edie tell Paul that maybe it's a tumor on his
Paul
eardrum.
Paul, would it confuse him if you reached out to me and I said, Paul, if you have what I have, you have what is called a tumor sooner. I'm sorry, what did you say?
So he said he thought it would pass, that it would repair itself, but it has not improved, and now he has doubts that he'll ever perform live again. And so he said that when he was touring last in 2020, he had a bout with COVID that sidelined some of the tour, and he also experienced a lack of enthusiasm for his old songs. He said, sometimes I would be at a certain point in the tour, and I'd say, what the F are you doing, Paul? Quite often that would come during You Can Call Me Al.
Oh, what a beatdown.
I'd think, what are you doing? You're like a Paul Simon cover band. You should get off the road and go home.
Yeah, I think everybody reaches that point unless they're just looking for a paycheck, which that guy's worth probably
he doesn't need the
$100
paycheck.
million or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, look, it happens to every performer, in whether it's sports or not, where you either get your body can't handle it anymore or you're just like, what am I doing here?
Or your ears can't handle it.
Yeah, can I just go home and eat a sandwich and not worry about this?
That really sounds like the goal.
To eat a sandwich? Stay
to
home?
Sit around and eat sandwiches seems like a proper goal. I'm sure my tune will change.
My
like
goal
everybody's does.
My
but-
goal is to just eat bread again one day.
Oh, Dave, someday you'll be able to eat bread.
Well, at least we.
Yeah. You know what? You can wrap your veggies in bread.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
What if you
It's
have
not.
you tried?
It's not messy at all.
Have you tried lettuce bread?
Oh, sure.
And then put
Does
peanut
that
butter
work?
jelly on the lettuce?
No, you don't do PBJ lettuce
Or
wraps.
like lettuce nachos.
And then the PB
it
gets
doesn't-
all over
that
your
doesn't
pants.
exactly work.
Boy, lettuce, nachos, and salsa, or chips and salsa. But it's
Let's check in with the goings-on at the Cannes Film Festival, as it's been
Okay.
going on all week. This is kind of hot. I'm not going to lie. So this was, I guess, the red carpet today, because they're ahead of us.
Yeah, they time traveled.
Yeah, so there's a Ukrainian influencer named Iona Chernobyl. So ILONACHERNOBAI. If you would like to look her up, as you should, because she's a Ukrainian fitness trainer with 1 million Instagram followers. And she was walking the red carpet in a blue and yellow dress representing her country. And
everybody was cool about it.
And as she got to the stairs, she reached under her dress,
pulled out a fish,
and pulled out bags of fake blood and poured them over herself.
Ooh.
To protest the war and to demonstrate the carnage that is happening to her Ukrainian country people. And so security immediately grabbed her and escorted her off. And so on her Instagram, she said, the action was in support of the occupied territories and our people who live there. And she says, I used my chance, and with this act, I remind everyone what is happening in Ukraine. I am with Ukraine in my heart. I did what I had to do. I'm now banned from the festival, but it's worth it.
I just typed in for the first time in Google, Ukrainian Instagram blood.
Okay. Any hits?
My new
Did
band
you get
name.
a good hit?
I didn't get it.
Okay, well here, see if you like that.
Yeah,
it's like
pre-blood. She's hot.
It's like if Carrie was hot.
God. Yeah. Good reference. Carrie.
Yeah. People
from 1976.
People remember.
She looks Ukraine.
She looks Ukraine? Yeah, she's hot.
She's extremely
Did you get her number
talented.
or anything?
Did I get her number? No, I'm not. I'm not at the festival.
Okay. I didn't know where you were yesterday or this morning.
We love to talk about the.
You're always getting numbers.
We love to talk about the standing ovation times.
Did they give her one?
No, she did not get a standing O because she was protesting, and protesting is not allowed. But they did have a preview or a debut screening of Asteroid City, the new Wes Anderson film.
We've got to take Donovan to this.
Okay, now I want to say,
blindfolded,
of the 32 minutes before the movie, I do have to admit this trailer did catch my eye.
Yeah, evidently it's a story within a story. That there's we said how it looks like a play. That there actually is a play within the movie.
Of course,
similar to Rushmore. You know how Rushmore had a play within the movie.
This is not helping Donovan's case.
No, it is not.
Which Wes Anderson movie did we make him go to? Like
Moonrise Kingdom.
Moonrise Kingdom, which
about the kid at the Boy Scout camp.
Yeah. It was kind of had the crush on the older girl or whatever.
Oh, that was really slow. That was
very slow.
It was a bad
even
one.
by Wes Anderson standards.
Right, like beyond quirky. And Donovan's like, "What do you? White people are so stupid."
Do you guys really like this, or are you just acting like you do?
So
that's
Asteroid City got a 6-minute standing ovation.
Okay,
so not great.
I was reading that
5
minutes is standard.
Yeah.
Moratorium on standing ovations.
What did get 5 minutes is the debut of The Idol, the Max series starring Lily Rose Depp and The Weeknd.
We're going to have to say HBO, and even though it switched today.
Yeah, today
HBO went
is
to Max.
So do we now have Max for the same price?
But you got to like re-log in.
Here comes a dummy joke from Bob.
No, I'm not. I'm taking this segment very seriously.
He is. He's de-sportsifying it.
On Game 3 day, I'm not joking around as much. I'm serious.
So the series debuts on June 4th, but for the purposes of Cannes, they screened the first 2 episodes, and it got the standard 5-minute ovation. But critics are saying it's exploitive. They're saying that Lily Rose Depp rarely does a scene without flashing her breasts or her bottom. And you start to wonder if it's building towards anything, and by episode 2, it seems that likely it's not.
So this is girl Johnny Depp?
Yes.
The booty.
And so the critic for the New York Times said it's 50 Shades of Tesfaye, or Tesfaye. That's the Weeknd's actual name. He's now wanting to go by his
what is
name.
his name?
His name is where is it in here? Bill
Abel
Tesfaye. Abel Bork. So, a Pornhub homepage odyssey starring Lily Rose Depp's areolas and The Weeknd's greasy rat tail.
So that's the Variety.
That's the New York Times review.
Okay, all right.
But yeah,
it's the guy that directed it. He's the one that did Euphoria, which I'm not watching.
Sam Levinson.
Maddie, do you watch Euphoria? Okay, good.
Okay, speaking of HBO, I have one quick hit that I want to get to because I had this at the end of last week and didn't have time to get to it. But then I was glad I waited because there was a response. So the creator of Entourage, Doug Ellen, he got ball sacked. Have you ever heard of a publication called McSweeney's?
No.
It's a satire website.
Like The Onion?
Kind of like The Onion. A lot of their pieces are a little bit more absurd and high concept. But this one was written by a guy named Max Davison, and he pretended to be an HBO executive announcing that Entourage would be undergoing sensitivity readings so that they would go back and fix Entourage to make it more appropriate for today's audiences.
Really?
It's satire.
Oh.
Boy, Bob just got ball
yeah, he
sacked
just got
with
ball
the explanation.
So this is
it's believable enough that my mind wandering in the stress of Game 3.
So here's an
wait a minute, no way!
I don't believe this.
Here's
It's gonna be
an
2-minute
excerpt.
episodes.
They assaulted my sacred cow of Entourage.
Nobody touches Entourage.
Since 2011, we've undergone vast shifts in our views on women, race, and Ed Hardy. We're merely removing a handful of problematic elements that were more socially acceptable back in Entourage's time. These include sexism, homophobia, misogyny, anti-Semitism, dubious sexual politics, Asian hate, toxic masculinity, the casting couch, racial slurs, ethnic slurs, sexist jokes, abusive workplace language, mockery of sex workers, cameos by James Woods and Armie Hammer, the fact that any woman was willingly attracted to Turtle or Johnny Drama, and the way in which white men were able to get away with absolutely anything and succeed despite having no discernible set or work ethic. This is a well-intentioned, nuanced update, much like when Steven Spielberg edited the guns out of E.T. So then on Twitter, Doug Ellen writes, "You are very much a product of your time, you revisionist hack. Talentless nobodies like you speak on Twitter, and then your zombie friends at crappy newspapers that no one reads anymore reprint your trash." He says, "Anyway, F you. Oh, we got a Peabody and a BAFTA too, you loser." And then so the author of the piece wrote back, "Doug, I wrote this piece. It's satire. It's taking sensitivity readings to the extreme. I've always wondered what it would be like to have Ari Gold scream obscenities at me. Now I know."
Did the guy respond?
Yeah, so then he responded the next day, and he said, "I skimmed it, but by the way, I've read similar things that were real. Don't tweet on edibles."
He was okay.
Yes.
All right. All right, that's fair enough. I would have been like, ha, 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 all that. Like, oh, you got me. I feel like an idiot, blah, blah, blah. But that's fair enough.
Well, you're tough on crime until somebody tweets on edibles, and then...
Right. Then you're like, oh, what did I tweet last night? All right.
Oh, I understand that guy.
That girl just walked by the speaker when you played the cackle, and she turned around and freaked out.
Is there a bird?
Oh, my God. That is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Woof. All right.
Community quick hits. I don't know what I love said there.
Queefy, queef, queefs.
I had like Novocaine mouth there for a moment. It's brought to you by
DFWsecurity.com and Highly Mazda of Hearst and Arlington.
CEA, none of us can talk. If it really boils down to it.
You're an excellent broadcaster.
I have been told.
Okay, listen, I'm an excellent broadcaster.
Excellent and wonderful. Here's Dave.
All right, so we do have some positive news out of the Allen Premium Outlets shooting, as Irvin Walker, the 46-year-old man who was one of the first people wounded by the gunman, has been released from the hospital.
Oh, good.
So he says that he didn't initially see the gunman, so he was dropping off his girlfriend, and that's exactly when the shooter pulled up. And he didn't see him at first, but felt an impact as the shooter began. And so he was shot multiple times.
Can you imagine? Like, what is... Wait, am I shot? Like,
I'm always interested, honestly, in the am I shot sort of line, which tells you it's not nearly as painful in certain spots of your body as you think it might be.
But then it becomes that way.
Yeah, so
it's just a shock.
I'm very interested in that, but I don't know.
You don't want to know enough.
I don't think I want to be shot.
No.
Yeah, so he was shot multiple times. He had wounds to his arm, chest, and face. Ended up having to have 2 major surgeries. The second one, they had to go back in and get shrapnel out because there was a bunch of shrapnel that had been left in his body after the first surgery. So he had a news conference today at Medical City McKinney. Or actually, his news conference was last week. But he said that after he is released, he's going to have an extensive rehab. And so that will start here shortly. But his representative said that he is extremely grateful for all the prayers and support. And they also released pictures of his car, and you can see at least 15 bullet holes in the windshield.
Whoa! Oh, my God.
Like, the fact that he's still alive is amazing.
Oh, my God.
And a GoFundMe for his rehab and medical bills has raised more than $100,000. So good for Irvin Walker.
And he's going to be okay? Like,
I don't know if he's going to make a full recovery. I don't know the extent of the rehab and, if he has things that are going to be lifelong ailments because of this. But
at least he's getting out.
He's getting out of the hospital after 2 weeks. And they are going to keep the Allen outlets closed through Memorial Day weekend, through this weekend. And perhaps next week is when they will try and reopen. I don't know if they'll have a soft launch or if it'll be full-on reopening. A bizarre incident on Sunday night, kind of in our old neck of the woods, down by our old Gaston Yard Apartments.
Yeah, Deep Ellum, baby.
So a 26-year-old guy named Charles Tizaby, he stole a DART paratransit van. So this is like the kind of the DART short bus, right?
Yeah.
Not a full DART bus, but one of those vans that has the wheelchair ramp on the side.
Okay.
So he steals this van on Sunday night. He stole it from the paratransit facility in East Dallas, and he took it on a 30-minute joyride. He took it along I-30, down Central Expressway, and ended up in the Bryan Place neighborhood. And along the way, he crashed into at least 6 parked cars.
Oh, my God.
And then it ended when he struck a bicyclist.
Oh.
And fortunately, the cyclist was not hurt. But after he hit the cyclist, he then tried to get away on foot, but was caught by Dallas police near Swiss Avenue and Bryan.
Was this a man that may not have had a home to go to? Or was this...
We don't quite know, although he is in jail. He is in jail on 2 counts of resisting arrest from an incident in 2022. So he had outstanding warrants, and then he was also charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle.
Yeah, that would be... it just sounds like someone, if you're just getting in there and you're crashing into cars left and right, that you don't have a lot to lose.
Yeah, you don't really care if you're doing the Austin Powers forward and back.
Right.
Just ramming cars, trying to turn around. Yeah, so he didn't give an F, and now he's in jail. We had this story on Community Quick Hits a couple weeks ago about the inaugural Kyle Fair in Kyle, Texas, the gathering of the Kyles. Would you like to guess as to whether or not they set the Guinness World Record for the gathering of the people with the same first name?
First off, this is the dumbest thing ever, to call on a certain group of people, whether it's people with the same name, people with one hand, people with blonde hair, any of it. If you have to call on it to set a record, it's totally fake.
Second day in a row, Corby's had a problem with the record set.
Yeah, you're damn right.
And are they going to check everybody's ID? How are they going to prove it?
Yeah, they checked everybody's ID.
So what did they need to set the record?
Well, the record was 2,325 people named Ivan in 2017 in a town in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
I'm going to say no, that they failed.
They did indeed fail.
Aw.
Good.
1,490 Kyles showed up at the inaugural Kyle Fair. It was their fourth attempt at setting the record.
And what do we need?
They fell about 800 short.
Not even close. They didn't even get a third of the way there.
Why aren't the Kyles cooperating?
I don't know.
Because they don't care. Because it's stupid.
But they're going to try again. They're going to do Kyle Fest again next year.
Undaunted.
This is their bit now.
This is a money-making venture. It's like a festival almost. So you're getting enough people down there to spend money to fill up the hotels,
stay in your town,
to drink the beers, to eat the food, all of that. And now it's turned into a bit. And I will hand it to the town if this is their way to make money.
It's Kyle, Texas. They got to get people there.
They did have Kyles from 49 states and from Canada.
What are those
So
dudes
they say.
doing?
So they say. Let's see.
They checked their IDs.
What do you guys think the population of Kyle, Texas is?
Under 5,000.
Yeah, somewhere between the number of Kyles that showed up and 5,000.
Shockingly, 51,000.
Wow.
Whoa.
I wonder how many Kyles live there.
According to Wikipedia, the documentary known as Wikipedia.
Yes, sir.
Its population grew from 28,000 in 2010 to 45,000 in 2020, making it one of Texas' fastest-growing cities.
Whoa!
It's in Hays County, bordered to the south by San Marcos. There's a college there. I can't remember which one. Is that one Jake went to?
I think so.
And to the northwest by Mountain City, generic.
And nowhere near Kyle Field.
home of Gary Clark Jr.
Really?
Wow.
The great Gary Clark Jr.
Oh, now Corby's in
But,
here.
Bob, I'm seeing that
he did Thunderheaded Rain.
the namesake of Kyle Field is from Kyle, Texas. Edwin
Way to go,
Jackson
Bob.
Kyle.
Oh.
What do you mean, way to go?
Well, that guy's probably dead and stuff.
All right,
making fun of him.
We have the
We have
Stars
luminaries.
pregame lurking. They are chomping at the bit.
They're chomping on their dessert is what they're doing.
That media room.
But before we
Go
get
hard.
to the Stars pregame, need to tell you one last story about a massive alligator that was found Sunday morning in Missouri City, southwest of Houston. So it was the middle of the night, Saturday night, Sunday morning, and a guy was driving through the neighborhood, and he saw this massive alligator and called 911. The eyewitness said that the alligator was ginormous. He'd never seen one that big up close. So Timothy DeRamus, who is known as the Gator Wrangler in Houston.
He's the Ramus.
He is the Ramus in Houston. He got there as quick as he could. Took him about an hour to get there, and it took him about another 3 hours to capture the gator. When they finally captured the gator, it was 11 feet long, 1,200 pounds. They estimate that it was about 85 years old, and it was missing part of its right front leg.
85 years old.
A three-legged gator.
So I saw this, and yes, it's like a stump that the gator had, and they had to use a contraption to get it on this truck to bring it to an alligator sanctuary. It is so incredibly massive and scary looking.
Yeah.
And 85 years. It
looks like a dinosaur.
It's a freaking dinosaur, right?
Yeah, so it was taken to Gator Country, which is
Generic.
a sanctuary in Beaumont.
Gainesville.
All right. He brought it back to sports. It took him to the very end, but he did it at the very, very
Met
end.
Tim Tebow.